All right, welcome everybody to 20 Sides to Every Story. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us here tonight. It's Friday night, and it's time to play some D&D. This is our community campaign. This is one of our many games that we do throughout the month where we invite our community and the people that watch us to come and join us for a game. So how do you get involved? Probably the best way for you to jump into a game would just be pop into our Discord server. I'll throw the link here in the Twitch chat. That's where you can join us. Just hop in there. A bunch of people are going to scream hello at you, and then you just let us know that you're looking for a game, and somebody will give you the details on how you go about creating a character and signing up for a game. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Tonight we're doing one of these. We've also got another one tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Dave is going to be taking some folks back to the Welkwood. So a couple of chances to kind of see how this all works. And if you really like what we are doing and you want to support the DMs that support the community campaign, you can do that by jumping in and supporting our Patreon, and that goes to support the DMs and just give back to them a little bit so that they can buy some new books and support the subscriptions and all the fun stuff that they contribute to make sure these games run without a hitch. Yeah. Marshmallow, I might ask you when you're not talking, just to have your thing muted. I just was getting a little bit of noise and whatnot. So
again?
Yep. So just click mute whenever you're not actively talking. So where we begin here tonight, we've got 5 adventurers who are coming to the village of Hommlet, and this tiny village has grown quite a bit over the past 10 years. 10 years ago, it became sort of a famed location. A number of adventurers came to this place and made themselves famous by standing up to the atrocities that happened at the Temple of Elemental Evil and managed to banish a demoness back to the Abyss. And so in that 10-year span since that happened, Hommlet has grown to have a bit of a reputation as a destination for up-and-coming adventurers. This is kind of the place where you go as maybe to get your first adventure and say that it's sort of a tradition. It's a way to build your legitimacy as an adventurer. And some people stay, as there is a lot of adventuring to be done in the neighboring locales, whether it's the gnarly forest to the east, or the Welkwood down to the south, or even the Lortmill Mountains or the Cron Hills further to the west. And you 5 are answering the summons of a sort of famed character here in Hommlet, man who goes by the name of Byrne, and he is a wizard who has a wizard. His tower is built and protected by the walls of a keep that is situated on the southeast side of Hommlet. In our previous adventure, both Yang and Rarith went on an adventure that we'll probably talk about it a little bit in character here in a moment, I'm sure, but basically, they came upon maybe some evidence that there might be occult activities happening in the region again. And given the history of the cults of elemental evil in Hommlet, this is not welcome news to the people that live here. It's been 10 years of prosperity without their wickedness, and to see their evidence of the cults being back in this region is alarming. And so the 5 of you have made your way to the most famous tavern. There's a few taverns in Hommlet now, but the most famous of them is the Inn of the Stumbling Ogre, which is the place that those adventurers from 10 years ago often congregated before they went out on their own quests. And so the five of you are coming into its tap room. There are a number of folk here, probably many adventuring types like yourselves, sitting at tables or up at the bar, maybe even one or two perusing a very large notice board that's been set up at the corner of the tavern. And so this is the place where you would come and maybe pull a quest or a mission off of that board. But you don't need to do that because you are coming here by the invitation of Byrne. And I don't have a picture of him, but Byrne is waiting for you, and he's got a private room that he has booked for your meeting. And so as you're coming in, it is very clear who Byrne is. Like, he wears like the stereotypical dress, the gown, the wizardly gown. He's got the pointy hat that's kind of flopped over. I think Ed always would say he looks a little bit like Lionel Richie with very long curly black hair, dark skin, and as you're all coming into the tavern, he recognizes you. He's expecting you, and he says, "Ah, welcome. Right back here. I've got libations and refreshments. We're going to need them for the foul business that we are going to be talking about this evening." And so there's like a big private room with a roaring hearth and a long table that has set out a number of bottles of wine, some tankards of ale, and various dishes of food that Mrs. Gundagut has prepared. The proprietor of the inn's wife has prepared for your meeting here. And so as you're all coming in, this is where we'll do some character introductions and see who we've got stepping into the Stumbling Ogre. And so we always let the new folks go last, so you can see the veterans do their little intro here. And so I think we'll start right away with Ed. Who do you got coming into the tavern?
Right. Entering the tavern is a forest gnome. They've got dark hair tied up into a sort of a tight ponytail bun, chainmail and a shield on their back. And on the way in, they grab a bar stool so that they can bring it in and sit high enough at the table. And their name is Clace. They are a paladin of the god Mokul, who is the god of trade. And you see that they've got a book that they're carrying with them that they frequently unfold a folded up map inside and make notations on it as they sit down. I'm excited to make a new map.
Did I catch were pronouns she, her?
They.
Okay.
They, them.
Awesome. All right. Next up, we've got Dawson. Who do you have?
Right after that, a human walks in, a leaner individual, long black hair, short crossbow on his side, belt of some darts, and very bruised and bloodied knuckles walks in. And he is a human monk. And as he enters, he takes a seat, pretty much just grabs the first tankard he sees and just sighs. I don't know how you convinced me to do this again, Rarith. It's mind-boggling.
All right. Well, I guess that's a lead, and we got to hear from Jeff now. Tell us a little bit about Rarith.
And as I walk in, you'll see a half-orc dressed in leathers. He has long black hair, also tied up in a tight ponytail. He has blazing yellow eyes, kind of brown, ruddy skin. And you'll see that he's carrying a large long bow. Yang, I know that you're loving this. I know you are.
I can't say I am just yet.
All right. Let's go over now.
Whoa, thanks for the jam
to Woo Man. Do you prefer Woo Man or Damon?
Wu Man's fine because
Wu Man,
like it's
okay.
just easier. Yeah.
Okay. I had to pause because I wasn't sure how you wanted to be addressed. I got you as
Yeah.
Damon on this overlay, but
Yeah, no worries.
so tell us a little bit about who you're bringing to the adventure here tonight.
Yeah, so what you guys see is a 6 foot tall human, coming in. He has some nice chainmail. A little dirty though, for sure. Shield is on his back, very dirty as well. But you see this great sword, and it looks like immaculate condition for whatever reason, but everything else is kind of dirty. Uh, but yeah, he walks in and he sees that he isn't familiarized with this area. His mother comes in and does a little bit of bartering, but he lives on the outskirts towards the east, and he's kind of a hunter gatherer, and he doesn't know what to do, but his mom told him to come towards this way, and yeah, he's just holding like a sign, like a little piece of paper that has like the name of the tavern, and that's about it.
All right, awesome, thanks. And finally, we have Marshmallow. You're making your debut. Who are you bringing to the adventure here tonight? And just remember, you're muted currently. We don't hear you.
Hey, what?
Now we do.
Wait, can you not?
Now we do.
Okay. Okay, for future reference, there appears to be a 2 to 3 second delay every time I unmute.
Okay, no problem.
I counted when you said you couldn't hear me the first time. Laurel is a 6'4" high elf, blonde hair, really dark green eyes. Does look different from other high elves in a way because some of them tend to be very to put a little too much into their grooming, or at least she thinks they do. So she's she looks a bit messy for a high elf. I'm not saying she's like got stained clothes all over the place, but her hair's frizzy, just put up funny. She just looks like a normal person, basically, besides having elf ears.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. So you're coming into this private room, and Byrne is greeting you all. He himself is pouring himself a very generous portion of a white wine, and he starts kind of like he's one of those people that like talks and like he just jumps from topic to topic kind of seamlessly. He's almost having a bit of a conversation with himself, and you're just there as people that are humoring him a little bit. But eventually he does get down to business, and he says, "Yeah, so we're here to talk about this business. Yang and Rareth here have uncovered some things I'd rather not know about. I wish weren't true, I suppose. But now that we do know about it, we need to investigate it. The two of them, well, I'll let them. I've been talking long enough. I'll let the two of them share with you what they found under the old moat house."
Would you like me to start, Yang?
It would be my honor.
So we ventured into the old moat house, and first off, we were met by a dragon, which almost ate me, but that's a story for another time. We did find some cultists in red robes. They had some gnolls fighting with them, and they had some kobolds in jail cells along with the priestess of Farlangen.
I think you also forgot to mention that they were doing some negotiating for some magic items or something. I believe the lordly fellow took a few of those, and they seem to be answering to what they call their master. And upon us looking further into the matter, discovered that there was a giant hole dug up inside of the moat house that led to a, I don't really know what to call it, temple?
A long forgotten place dedicated to this Dark Lord, this master of theirs. I can tell you it wasn't there 10 years ago. We did a sweep of the moat house after the sacking of the Temple of Elemental Evil. We thought the entire place had been vacated. It just was left to fall into ruin, and now it makes me wonder. You may not be real acquainted with the events of 10 years ago, but there was a half-drow who formed a gang and used the old moat house as his headquarters. A man named Lareth the Beautiful. He turned out, we believe, to be an agent of the demigod Ayaz, an evil god who wages war far to the north. It begs the question if he knew that that place was in truth a temple dedicated to this dark god, or if I don't know. But yes, you mentioned the dragon is there at the moat house now. It might be something of a happy coincidence that it layers there now. It seems that the cultists were afraid of it. They're not in league with it, and they were trapped in the moat house as a result of its presence. And so maybe it will keep out any more cultists for the time being, but I think now we need to turn our attention. This place, this moat house, we disregarded it as important. I can't imagine that these cultists are not poking around in the ruins of the old Temple of Elemental Evil. I hope I'm wrong. In fact, I predicted that such a thing might happen. Have you ever heard of stories of a troll named Ulgrast?
I have heard some stories of the troll Ulgrast.
Well, he's still around. I pay him.
I recall the name. Not exactly who he is.
Well, as far as trolls go, he's not so bad. He won't try to eat you, necessarily, if you meet him. You just gotta... He likes thinking that he's a little bit smarter than you, so you just kind of play along with his ego, and you'll be fine. But he lives out there near the old ruins of the temple, and I've been paying him for many, many years to keep an eye on things. Now, I haven't seen him in some time. I would assume he does come to the village here on occasion. Him and a few of his hobgoblin buddies kind of root around in the trash there. Once in a while, they come upon something valuable, and they'll bring it out this way, and we'll have it appraised for them.
You what?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said, you can do that? My aunt spent the last 100 years telling me they're a bunch of idiots, and you can't really get them to do anything besides charge at you.
Oh, Ulgrast is no fool. He's very savvy. He's very status-driven. He wishes to amass wealth and be seen as something of a lord.
Okay, now I want to meet this guy.
Well, I'm hoping that you will, because if anything has been going on out there, he'll know. So, that is my ask to the 5 of you. Take a journey out there to the old ruins of the temple. It's not much, more than a heap of rubble, just to the south of the village of Nulb. There are, of course, 2 ways to get out there. You could take the high road or the low road. High road would get you there faster, but it'll take you right past the moat house. You probably don't want to catch the eye of that black dragon. So I would suggest taking the low road. It'll take you an extra day to get there, but there have been a number of crews that have been coming back and forth, dealing with some wizards out there, the Matricular Deep. Roads seem safe enough, but once you draw close to the village of Nulb, you want to avoid that place entirely. It's cursed.
I think I heard.
Well, there have been folk that have gone out there to check it out, and they haven't returned.
Well, that sounds like
Lovely.
enough of a reason to avoid it.
Close enough that one might be able to extrapolate its location for mapping purposes.
I think so.
Yeah.
I hear that it is, there's a heavy mist drawn over it. As long as you don't enter that, you'd be fine. Stick to the other side of the river and follow it south. Just a few miles, and then you can cut across and get to the temple.
I think I'm gonna follow what my uncle always said ever since I was a kid. The last thing you ever want to deal with is a dragon, even a hatchling, because that usually means there's a big one nearby.
Well, I would agree. We have put up some rewards. If you ever do feel brave enough, you want to go out there and try your hand at dragon slaying, but perhaps now is not the time to deal with Dusktooth. Plus,
Yeah,
he's a fine
let's leave
enough
him alone.
deterrent against these cultists, so I think we will let him stew for a bit until we can be sure that these cultists are no more threat.
yeah, I'll leave the dragon to the professionals.
You see, Thide put up his hand, and he's like waiting for Burn to.
Oh,
Call
I'm
him.
sorry. Yes, you. Well, you have a question.
I have a question. You say 2-way high road and low road, but what if we make middle road?
Well, you should go and talk to the Matricular Deep. I think they're trying to do just that. They're building some kind of damned road out there.
Thank you. And he's just trying to use his brain for the first time.
And then as you bring that up, he's like, yeah, middle road. That's just what we need. We got the high road is the southern road, and the low road is the northern road. Let's have a middle road be the even further north yet. That won't be confusing for anyone. And he looks over at Clace and says, you're going to have your work cut out for you with these maps.
Well, excellent. Job security.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just here because the notice said you guys needed a healer.
Yes, well, you all have been chosen for your particular skill sets, and for this task, it might be the easiest 100 gold each of you has earned. So, that is what I am offering. 500 gold total, 100 gold each as a part of your share.
That's more than fair, I think.
Absolutely. Burn, there is one part of the story of the moat house that we didn't relay to you. 3 of us fired arrows on the cultist down in the hole.
Yeah, good.
And upon his death, we were taken over, knocked out. I don't know how to explain what happened
Seized.
to us. We were told that we were having seizures, yes. But we were spoken to, well, I was spoken to by something that called itself the Chained God. Does that mean anything to you?
That name rings a bell, and I don't think I like it.
He's just like is staring at you. He's chained god. You're sure that that is how he referred to himself?
It had like some sort of eye symbol, or it's just an eye that looked menacingly.
There is an eye symbol, and there is also this symbol, and I will show Burn the end of my dagger.
God. A man named Absalom showed me one of these 10 years ago, and that's when all this trouble started. The exact same design.
We already have a creepy temple to deal with. Now we got creepy fucking god to deal with. We need now is creepy boss, and we'll hit the trifecta.
Well, that's the right attitude. I hope that you will have such a upbeat attitude a couple of sessions from now. He just says he's you can tell he's like super concerned about the dagger and the name. You see him write that down. He forces a bit of parchment and ink into your hands and has you draw those symbols that you saw. And basically, he says, this is going to require some research.
I'm going to copy them into my book as well.
There was also an obelisk that depicted four...
What did I get myself into? Sorry.
4 different races and professions or classes of folk that were missing the weapons from their statue.
I did get that bit of information from you, and I have looked into that. Those statues that you found, they depict... There's an old story, many centuries ago, before the Great Migration, there was an empire of Sulis wizards, sorcerers, who delved into dangerous magic. They were looking into...
Always the fucking wizards. Every bad story.
Excuse me, I'm in the middle of my story there. Okay.
Zoe.
They delved into magic to see about interposing planes on top of each other. One of the ways that they did that was by infusing elemental magic into weapons. You say that these 4 statues were missing a component?
That's what it appeared to look like, that they were missing. Their hands were in positions to hold something, but there was nothing there for them to hold.
And you said it sounded like these cultists and these gnolls were plundering the place and having some debate about objects and such.
Yes, there was several burial sites dug up.
So it sounds as if maybe these things have already left the moat house. Well, even further reason that we should check out the temple. With the temple, when it was buried and destroyed 10 years ago, there were no visible entrances inside. It appeared that the entire place had collapsed in, but it very well could be that there were maybe objects or artifacts there that they may be going after. We need to check this out, and we need to talk to Ulgrast about it. So, tonight you can enjoy your fill here, and we can eat, and in the morning you should set out on foot. Get an early start.
Will do.
Seems reasonable.
Yang, make sure you eat a little extra tonight.
You just see he's already just like his face is just covered in just around.
All right. Anything you want to do here in the tavern? It's kind of evening time, probably like an 8 p.m. time frame.
I'm gonna try to get Rarith and Yang to walk through the path to the moat house and try to sketch out a rough map of what that is, even though that's not where we're going.
Explain to me why you need this map.
Well, it's my profession. I'm a map maker. I really ostensibly it's for mapping trade routes, and I realize it's not really a trade route, but any bit of information on a map is helpful for trade.
Okay.
So, do you have the high road at all mapped out at any?
No, I came from the Cron Hills, so originally, and so I don't really have anything to the east or northeast, as it were.
Need me to go with you guys in case someone gets hurt?
Oh, I'm just going to do it here. Let them describe it to me. I'll try to make a rough map based on their description, and then we'll map the actual routes to the temple tomorrow.
You kind of see her deflate a little bit. You can kind of tell she really wants to be helpful. It's like, oh, can I come with you? I can heal. Oh, you're just talking. Dang it.
We will definitely need your services.
I have a knack for getting myself impaled on spears quite often.
Oh, well, we should
Spells
avoid
for that.
fears.
I have healing spells. I have healing spells. See, and she holds up a book with a bunch of healing spells written down.
As she keeps on saying healing, I like put up my hand. Laurel, correct?
It's laurel, like the plant.
Oh, they're so good. Have you? Anyways, before I forget, can spells or healing spells be cut?
Like stopped midway?
No, like cut physically.
They really can. They always stay full strength no matter what you do.
Oh, one day I will cut a spell.
You're
You
cutting
can
a
do that.
spell?
An interesting endeavor.
The only way you can do that is to cut a spell completely off. And that's a specific spell designed to cancel out other spells.
I think he's wanting to actually cut the spell with his sword.
Yeah,
And
what he said.
Yeah, and I just politely explained that's not physically possible unless you have that spell attached to your sword, and it would shut the entire spell off,
Well,
not
it's not
cut it.
physically possible based on our current knowledge.
I mean, Yang just like pipes up with a slight chuckle. I mean, you can cut the spellcaster in half. That would do wonders.
Oh, but okay. But one day, because when you guys say impossible, you see him like say, no way, it's impossible, and he's gonna try to find a way one day.
Yeah.
I
Just-
applaud
you just
you for
don't-
your knowledge.
Basically, my character figured out he's not the brightest, but rather than being mean about it, she decided to just humor him.
Burn is
And-
like definitely like, oh yes, cutting a spell with. What would you use? A sword?
Yeah, and I take out my great sword.
Well, take notes for me. I want to know how it goes.
Absolute notes. What? Can I cut a note as well?
Yes.
Very easy. Yes.
Oh, cool.
Really easy to cut. It's just paper most of the time.
I imagine your blade would have to be exceptionally sharp to cut the words of a spell.
My blade is semi-sharp, but it's clean, so that's what matters.
Honestly, if you could physically cut a spell, like say a fireball or something, you could probably make it split so the fireball doesn't hit you so bad.
Burn says, now sometimes, depending on the parchment that you are going to cut, you may find that you are both cutting through parchment and a spell, which would be entirely dangerous for you.
Yeah.
His head and doesn't understand half the things you guys are saying, but he's just like, oh, I'm gonna cut a lot of things one day.
Sometimes the thing that you cut blows up in your face.
Is this from experience?
Well, not me, but my partner Rufus did that one time. Yes.
And what he's trying to say is, if you cut a paper with a bunch of funny symbols on it, sometimes it makes things happen and it can hurt badly. Other times it can heal you, but most of the time it just really fucking hurts.
At this point, Thide is probably just nodding his head on everything because he doesn't understand half the words you guys are saying.
So you
My character's trying so hard to humor him because she doesn't want to be mean.
So
in
Elvish
Elvish,
humor. Sorry.
In Elvish, I'm going to say to Laurel, keep this guy alive, please, because he's not going to do it on his own.
So I think here we will transition just to keep us moving along here. But you have a very robust conversation about cartography and making it spellcasting and theoretical conversations about magic and such. And Go ahead.
I did want to say something in response to what he said about keeping this one alive. Like this silly noodle. Of course I'm going to keep him alive. That wasn't Elvish, so unless you speak Elvish, you would not have heard that.
All right. So as the night winds down, you take your rest and stay here at the tavern. In the morning comes, and you're all getting a little bit of breakfast here at the tavern before making your preparations to set out. I'm going to assume, unless you're going to go and purchase some horses or anything, that you're going to make this trip by foot.
What's the weather?
As you're looking outside here today, it is a fairly overcast day. It's not raining currently, but it looks like it probably could at any moment.
Okay, do you guys want to try to get a horse to make it faster, or do you want to chance it with the rain?
Horses aren't
Looks like
cheap.
it might rain.
My only issue is a horse is a great snack for a dragon, from what we have learned.
It would
Absolutely.
be a sizable investment to have lost so quickly.
Not a good idea to wake the dragon up anyways. Let's just go.
Thide is like, so it's better to have horse when you meet dragon, or not to have horse when you meet dragon?
Depends on how much you want the horse on your good side. It depends on how much you want the dragon on your good side. If you want the dragon to like you, buy it a horse. If you want to avoid getting its attention, don't have a horse with you.
Okay.
All right. Any other preparations that you... So it sounds like by foot. It'll take you... You're taking the low road. You'll have 2 full days of travel, and basically the morning of the 3rd day you will arrive. Assuming everything goes swimmingly.
I should be able to help with food along the way.
Same.
Because I do like to eat.
Laurel can shoot tolerably well, but she'd be more preparing this stuff after you catch it.
All right. Well, it sounds like preparations are in order, and you all head out and start along the road heading east from Hommlet. And as you're setting out, inevitably, yes, there's a light rain that starts about an hour into your journey. Now, the season right now is high summer, and so in some ways this isn't unwelcome to have this bit of moisture coming down. It causes the temperature to be a little bit more mild here this day, and so not terrible. And I've done all of the wandering encounter rules and everything ahead of time. And on this day, the first day of your journey, there is nothing that you encounter. You're just passing by a lot of like the farmsteads that thrive right around Hommlet. A lot of wheat farming that happens, and you're probably even passing a number of farmers at Wave. They're very accustomed to adventuring types like yourselves coming and going, and so you start to make your way even along the low road. You probably see just the outline of the marsh that sits between the low road and the high road, but you're not actually going into marshy territory yourself. And so you make your way through, and eventually you get to the point where you're feeling exhausted, and it's time to start setting up camp and getting ready for the evening. And I heard
cartography tools check
sure.
for my mapping for the day.
And as you're doing that, Doe Legion just redeemed by a player reroll. So thank you so much for that. And I didn't announce it on stream, but I got one earlier from Pogo, so we're all tied up here, I think. And Nuthouse 57, thank you for the cheer. All right, how did the cartography go?
Possible.
Nice.
I have a decent map started.
That's a pretty cool line you draw there.
Well, it's not just the line. You're right. It's mostly a line at this point.
That roll was an accident. I accidentally hit the wrong button when I was trying to check my sheet.
You're fine. Anything any of the rest of you are doing?
I'd like to set up a little trap for some game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a survival check.
All right. Survival check. Here we go, boys and girls and days. So I double click it. I don't know.
Let's see on the sheet. There we go.
Oh, 9.
9. Unfortunately, nothing seems to come by the trap here this evening. And in the morning, you can reacquire your trap and maybe try again on the next night.
Sounds good to me.
Rarith will be hunting for some food as well.
Okay. Why don't we just resolve that with a survival check also?
May I roll a survival check as well to look for like wild herbs, tubers, berries, anything
Sure.
like that?
Sure.
Okay, I believe I'm just rolling this normally.
All right, Rarith. With a 23, you definitely...
That's actually going to be a 29 because I get double my survival check.
Okay. Sounds good. So
I don't find any berries. I'm sad now.
Okay. So Rarith, you are hunting. You're out some distance away from the camp, and you actually managed to come across 2 bucks this evening, and so it's like probably more than you really need.
I can just take one. One will be fine.
Awesome. So you do that and are able to prepare a little something for dinner here, and maybe even have a little something for the next day. And Laurel does a survival check with an 8. Yeah, you just aren't really finding anything that is substantial or usable out here.
Or anything that she did find was still green, so definitely not edible.
Anything Yang that you're up to?
What he probably would do is space out around the camp, putting out some of his rope and pythons and wrapping around, kind of making little, not necessarily like a alarm trap, but like a trip wire in a sense. So if someone were to be a little too clumsy, they'd walk into it and trip.
Okay, just some like kind of extra security.
Yep.
Perfect. I'm not going to ask you all to like get into like a watch order or anything like that. We just sort of assume that you do that. There is no encounter that happens here this evening. And so the next day, you kind of collect all of your gear and your traps and materials, pythons and whatnot that you put out in the woods to use as security, and start heading out along the road again. And so today, the rain has subsided. It is a clear day. Sun is beaming down, and it's quite a pleasant jaunt along the little road. The temperatures are still plenty mild. There's a bit of a breeze that keeps you comfortable as you're traveling. And at about, you're probably getting it's been like 7 hours that you've been on foot. And you're starting to get to that point where you're feeling like it's probably time to call it a day. When suddenly you feel this really sharp tremor that almost knocks you off your feet. And there's a bit of the seismic rumble that kind of persists for a few seconds even after that. Feels very much like you just experienced some kind of an earthquake.
What in the name of the Everlight was that?
I don't know, but it made me scribble my line.
The last time I
Yeah,
felt the
let's
earth
see.
tremble like this, there were things come up out of the ground, so beware.
Oh, fucking hell, takes out her crossbow.
Now, as you're looking about, you don't see any cracks or openings into the earth, but I guess anybody who is proficient in perception could give me a perception check here.
I can roll that. Let me look at it real quick.
Sure, anybody who's proficient can give it a stab.
That's pretty good, actually.
All right, Yang. When the sound happened, there was a sound that was associated with the earthquake, and it sounded like it was coming from the east, like a thunderclap.
East of here is all he will say.
And at this point, east is sort of the direction of where you're headed.
If you ask me,
Foreboding.
it's probably best we at least make sure it's not gonna attack us in the night. At least see what it is.
So, so you travel further in that direction with a keen eye out. Not really sure maybe what you're looking for, but definitely kind of on edge, keeping an eye out, alert. And you travel for about another hour. And up ahead, you can see there is what looks like a fairly shallow looking river. So if you're still looking at this map here, the hex map, you're basically where the number 11 is there that's marking Nulb. You're like you'd be like 2 hexes back from on the other side of Emeritus Run. And so it's pretty cool. It's pretty chill here. It's probably, seasonally, normally it'd be about 85, 90 degrees out, but it's like it's like a 20 degree drop in temperature. And you're not quite within eyeshot of Nulb, but just based on your knowledge of the geography and terrain out here, you know that you're probably pretty close to the accursed village. And this is about the point where if you were pushing yourself further, you'd be risking exhaustion and such. It has been a full day of journeying for you.
Well, if it's all the same to you, I'd prefer to call it a day. I have very short legs.
You do.
It's true.
I agree that this would be a good place for us to take our rest for the night.
I like to have my stress ball on camera, or would you rather I not?
No, you're good. So it sounds like taking a rest here. And so you start, getting your bedrolls and such out. getting the fire going, perhaps to make some food. Any specific actions that any of you'd like to do here this evening as you're setting up camp?
Continue my map.
That's
Would
same
like
thing I
to
did the other
take-
day.
Oh no.
I would like to take another crack at looking for berries or tubers or things.
Okay. Survival
Have
check.
something for breakfast. That is normal. At least I roll high where it matters. That would be a 9. I rolled a 5. I have a +4.
Yeah, there's it's pretty barren out in these parts, and that sort of fits with the description of Nulb being sort of an accursed place. So the only things that you're finding are kind of like thistles and thorns and such. Ramble. How about the rest of you?
It's similar to routine that I did the other day. Rope around the perimeter, not as an alarm, but in case someone walks in, they trip.
How are
Sounds
we
good.
on food?
I would say, given what you were able to collect from the day before, you probably still have some bit of meal that you had prepared from the night earlier that you can use here.
Okay. I'm going to be looking for some type of a small creature in the area. I'm going to try to speak with it and find out if maybe they know what the sound that we heard was.
Okay. Give me a... Let's just do a survival check on this, too.
I'm actually going to use a spell.
Mm.
Oh, I guess survival check to find something that might speak to you.
Okay. Gotcha. Understand. And remember, this is going to be +6, whatever it is.
Okay. Okay. With a 15, we will say that you maybe kind of scanning the horizon, kind of looking out at the kind of barren fields here, and you don't really see anything, and so you turn your attention to the river there, Immerdus Run, and you see that there is a frog that is kind of hopping along the bank. And then you cast Speak with Animals and call out a hello or something, and it like looks at you.
Hello, little frog.
Hello.
Did you hear that that noise that shook the ground earlier?
Yes,
Do you have any idea what it was?
Well, maybe a big Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. So is there a big
Maybe.
spider out here?
Yes, he lives in that foggy town.
Oh, that foggy town.
Don't like that place.
I've heard bad things about that place too.
There's a little man. He's always trying to catch me.
You're staying away from him though, right?
Yeah, yes, but he got some of my friends. I think he eats them.
I bet he just eats your legs.
That is no comfort to me.
No, it's not. And I'm sorry that you've lost your friends.
Well, thank you for your condolence.
Well, thank you for having taken time to talk to me.
You don't eat frogs, do you?
No.
That's good. Okay. Well, I'll be on my way. Splash. Swims away.
Well,
Okay, real quick. Out of character, I now want to have my character catch a frog to bring it friends. Poor thing. If I deal with that spider guy.
I didn't know Spider-Man was in Null, but apparently Spider-Man.
This is some sort of copyright issue that we're not discussing here.
But really didn't learn anything from the frog about what made the noise or if there was anything that was going to attack us. So it was worth a try.
You should watch for squirrels.
Looks at your character, or when you get back, find anything interesting?
As far as what?
Like, aren't you a druid? Can't you, like, talk to animals and stuff?
No, I'm a ranger.
Ranger, sorry. Don't know why I thought druid. You kind of act like a druid.
Well, I did talk to animals. And I do know Elvish.
As we know, rangers do lead the way.
Did you, find anything interesting talking to the animal?
No. Just that there's Spider-Man over there that eats his friends.
If I ever... Okay, if I get strong enough, I guess I'm going spider hunting.
Certainly an interesting notation for a map.
Spider-Man, question mark?
Here be Spider-Mans.
Now I'm gonna get, like, quest request things. Like, can we go... meet Peter Parker?
Yeah, you're definitely gonna get a quest request for can we go kill the spider person and can we go frog hunting to bring the poor frog some friends.
Other actions that anybody wants to do here this evening?
I think Thide would be practicing with the sword, trying to maybe do like a lateral cut.
Sorry, did someone just bring
Sure.
you food?
So, incidentally, you do maybe venture out just a little bit from the camp to find a good place to kind of swing and practice your sword. And you find a patch where there's a very large piece of webbing between a couple of trees.
I think Thide would just be not himself if he didn't try cutting it.
It's like a spread of maybe 10 feet or so, and yeah, you go and you hack at it, and ching, it cuts it clean.
Yeah. Now I can I can think mentally in my head. I cut spider web. Yes.
You'll have to get a book. I like to record things in a book.
Oh. Okay.
You didn't see a Spider-Man at that spider web, did you?
I think that web belonged to Charlotte.
Is that the Spider-Man's name?
It is now.
Chaotic noodle. Hey, in Elvish. Oh, are we supposed to keep the silly noodle alive again?
Why do you keep calling me silly? He knows Elvish, by the way.
So, yeah, apparently he knows Elvish too.
Yeah, somehow.
Color me impressed. It's a complicated language. I'm pleasantly surprised.
That's the risk you take. Every D&D character is multilingual, so...
Yeah.
Somehow.
Whatever they're saying sounds really pretty.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
But it sounds pretty, right?
It's like they're singing.
Yeah.
It is.
In Elvish.
It sounds like they're singing.
Yeah. Elvish, silly's just a word for someone who's a little bit on the goofy side. It's not bad. I mean, used in the wrong context, it can be bad, but in this case, I just mean kind of goofy.
I'm going to sleep. Good night.
I follow.
All right.
By the way, if we get attacked by a spider in the middle of the night, I'm blaming you.
So as it turns out, I don't
Are
know.
we setting up watch for tonight?
Yeah, how are we gonna handle it? Rather than going through the whole conversation of who's on which watch, I'm just gonna roll essentially a D5 here, and we'll see who's on watch at the moment. Oh, it's Rareth. Of course. So I
Nice roll.
yeah. So you're on watch. We'll say it's like a middle watch. It's the middle of the night, and you hear something far off, but it does sound like there's something like moving about in. It sounds like maybe down in the little stream where you were earlier. Probably set your camp up some distance from that, but you hear something it sounds like something moving about in the water. And you also notice that would you have the fire going while you're on watch?
No, I can see in dark
Okay.
up to 90 feet. So
You just feel cold. Like it was already a pretty cool temperature at about maybe like about 70 degrees, and it drops like a further like 10 degrees like instantly.
a little shiver.
Whatever
Guess I'm
this
gonna be looking
noise
for something.
is, it's not coming closer to you. It just, you can hear something moving about in the water.
Can I
will,
hear it
crouch.
too, or am I too
This is-
asleep?
Yeah, just Rareth watch.
Okay.
I'm gonna crouch down and look to see if I can see anything.
Okay. Why don't you give me a stealth check as you try to move forward a little bit, see if you can see something.
And that's 16.
Okay. So you move ahead, and you're angling your eyes at the stream. There's just sort of like a bank, and then like there's a little bit of like a drop off that, and then the stream is there. The stream is only a couple feet deep, but what you see sloshing around in the water there is it's sort of it's vaguely humanoid looking in that. In its form, it's a fairly muscular looking creature, but it's like completely naked with sort of dark gray skin. And certain features of it are very distorted. For example, its jaw, its maw, is like elongated and agape. And its arms seem like they're elongated as well, like almost like they were like on a rack or something, and their arms had been pulled because their knuckles are dragging in the water. So like their arms kind of hang all the way down to just below their knees, but they're standing up straight as it's like kind of shuffling along in the water.
Does it have 8 legs?
Does not. 2 legs, 2 arms.
It's not Spider-Man. Okay.
Give me a perception check. As it's walking, you also notice it's hard to see, but as it's walking, the vegetation along the sides of the bank starts to wither and die as it's moving.
How far away am I from the rest of the camp?
At this point, you're maybe, let's say, 100 feet from the camp, and you're like 100 feet from the stream, kind of watching this from afar.
And he doesn't seem to be coming towards us.
No, he's heading south, in the direction that you ascertain Nulb to be.
I'm just going to watch. I'm not going to stay silent. Just watch.
And you watch him, and he never leaves the stream. He just continues to walk south. And that is the only bizarre thing that you see on your watch, and then you carry it forward. Everyone else takes their turn. Nothing else happens during the night. But as you're packing up in the morning, you can certainly kind of maybe have some words or share what you have discovered.
Yeah, I would tell the party that I saw this thing walking in the river and describe it.
Couldn't
Anybody?
find any berries.
Interesting.
That thing was probably killing all your berries. The plants were just withering around it.
Well, that seems problematic.
It's considered a good thing it didn't come this way.
I've heard
Swear
stories of things and all undead things.
As soon as I get better divine magic, I'm killing that thing because nobody comes between me and berries.
Sounds like a plan.
Love the optimism.
You don't come between me and berries. Nuh-uh. No. Not unless you want to end up on my bad list.
So your guess is you can avoid Null by just following that very same river, the stream.
Thanks for the raid.
And
I'm
hold
Barbie.
on, we got ourselves a raid. Who's raiding us here? Sigum T, thank you so much for the raid. Rating was 17 folks. Hope you guys had a good stream. We were playing a little D&D here ourselves. Let us know in the chat what y'all were up to. Tonight we are playing this is one of our community campaign games, so we invite people that watch the stream or are part of our community to come and sign up for games and hang out and play some D&D. Oh, this was your first D&D session for your group. Okay, awesome. Hope you guys had fun. We're playing 5th edition.
I hope you guys had so much fun.
Playing D&D. All right, awesome. Yeah, we're playing right now we're playing this is just kind of made up homebrew kind of stuff. We're not in a module or anything necessarily right now, but we're returning to an old locale that was really important in our previous community campaign. So the lot of you, you probably guess you maybe got another 3 hours. You kind of have to go out of your way to kind of avoid Null, but you can certainly do it. Cut across the stream and get to the temple. And so, on this 3rd day, the weather seems like it's returned to like a normal seasonable temperature for the summer. It's crept back up to the 80s, and so that anomaly from the past couple of days is gone. And you start to now once you're on the south side of Nulb, you eventually pick back up on where the road that you were following would have come out on the southern side of Nulb had you continued following that. And you can see on this side of Nulb, it is rutted, it is spotted with rank weeds, thistles, burrs, nettle. The trees out here are dead. Those that line the pathway just kind of reach up at the skies like skeletal fingers, not a piece of green on any of them. And this pathway, this road, leads to the ruins of the former Temple of Elemental Evil, which does not look at all like a temple anymore. As you make your way, the walls of what was its courtyard are still there for the most part. It's fairly ruined, and there's vine and such that clings to the walls. But on the inside of this outer wall, where the temple would be, is just a heap of stone and rubble. And as you're making your way through mounds of rubble, you can see occasionally skulls or bones that kind of gleam white from the sun hits them. And occasionally amongst the wreckage, you even catch upon a devilish grin, a face carved in stone that leers up from the rock piles. One of the former gargoyle guardians' heads that just lies amongst the wreckage, no longer useful or a guardian of the place, just a piece of the wreckage. It has been conquered, it has been destroyed. But nonetheless, everything about this place is disgusting. And through all of this, you see that there is some evidence that this place has not been entirely abandoned. You can see that there has been some attempt, it would look like, at organizing some of the rubble and wreckage. Like, there's like a big pile of chairs over here, and there's a big pile of tables over here, and there's a big heap of scrap metal and like iron from busted up swords over here. And so there's some kind of operation happening here to like sort through the trash and organize it in some way.
Points to the spooky face and goes, and this is in common. What the devil is that?
It looks like a stone face.
But from what?
Probably a statue.
Well, they said the temple was here and it was destroyed, so I assume it was on the temple.
Kind of
How's
weird
that?
to be
I
walking
know
in
that, but I was at.
a historical site.
They also said that there were gargoyles that guarded the temple. So, I mean, that very well could be a piece of one of the gargoyles.
They also
Well,
said there
actually,
should be a
what-
troll about who might be able to answer some questions. So let's see if we can't find a troll, huh?
Yeah, let's do that.
How do you
You
say
might-
hello in troll?
It's
I
was going
don't
to
know,
rely
I
on
don't
common. I don't
speak
think they
troll.
speak it.
Oh. But if you were a
Yeah.
troll, how would you say hello?
Well, if I was going to
You-
say it in common, I'd say hello.
I will try
Have to
this.
ask, but you'd have to ask the troll. Noodle.
Well, you're looking about for troll. You've been told Ulgrast would be here. But you see that there's evidence that like some activity has been happening here, but you don't see anybody lumbering about. You do see, heaped upon the main wreckage of where the temple foundation would be, there is a portion of a dais that sits on the rubble, kind of askew, kind of haphazardly, and there's this huge throne carved of solid stone upon it. And the throne has carved into it leering demon faces and grinning skulls, but nobody is sitting on it.
Make a religion check to see if I gather anything.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, that is one impressive chair.
Oh, for frick's sake. I don't notice anything.
Don't notice anything,
for me.
although it isn't like a super secret about what happened here. Like, it is basically common knowledge back in Hommlet. If you spent even a day at the tavern, somebody would tell the story of the things that happened. So hold on, I'm giving you an explanation about what this is. So this throne is the throne of Zugat Moy, the demoness of fungus and decay.
Oh.
She was banished 10 years ago by adventurers who came here, and they destroyed the golden skull, which was her artifact, which was the impetus for the temple collapsing.
Wait. God. Could that thing on the river be a weakened version of her? In decay, it made stuff wither.
It sounds like all the more reason not to go the knob now.
Uh,
Yeah, I agree.
It could be a
Also-
comfy chair for a troll at this point.
I'm gonna try to read the writing on the wall, and if anything is in Abyssal or Infernal, I can read it.
Writing?
So, Celestial, Common, and Elvish.
Did I describe writing?
I was just saying she's gonna look for writing.
Oh, you don't.
Anything.
No, you don't see any writing anywhere.
Does there look
Not
to
e-
be any foot traffic going through this area? They have very large feet.
Yes. Give me a survival check.
All of us, or just him?
Him. He just described something he wanted to do.
Okay.
While Yang's doing that, I'm going to pace out and try to map out the area and get dimensions.
Okay. So 23. Absolutely, you discover. That there was a bit of rain, very recent, and so there's still a little bit of moisture that has been soaked up in the ground, and so it's pretty easy for you to see that Troll and the hobgoblins maneuver around here, but it seems that the freshest tracks lead to a rubble pile in the northeast of this courtyard, and over there it looks like there is basically the ruined foundation of an old watchtower. It's like kind of like the two walls of the courtyard are adjoined, and in that northeastern quadrant there was a watchtower there. And not only do the tracks lead there, you notice that it seems that there's been some effort to pull a lot of the rubble out from the inside of that tower. And what you discover is that there is a hole in the ground where there is a python, maybe a couple of pythons that were hammered into the ground, and then some rope tied off, and the rope leads down into this hole, maybe 20 feet deep. And it looks like at the bottom of it, there is like a slanting passage that leads down.
It looks like our friend here might have been doing some excavating.
What is it
So
with
should-
holes in the ground, Yang? Why do we keep finding holes in the ground?
I don't know why we keep going to these abandoned places that were centers of horrible terrors.
Holes in the sky would be weirder.
So,
That would be a sight.
so we check the tower first or the hole?
Well, the hole's in the tower, so convenient. We can do both.
Should we check up first or down?
There really is no up anymore. It's it's pretty much dilapidated. Like it's really the foundation of the tower is all it's really.
Okay. She's like, I guess we're going down then. After looking up, she's like, I guess we're going down then. Hey, let's go see if we can find our troll buddy.
Well, hold up a minute. Let's have some discussion before we just go flying down a hole.
Gonna climb down yet. I was just saying that seems to be the most prudent course of action at the moment.
I guess the
You're
question
correct.
is, who's going to go down first?
Exactly. Who's
Who's
stealthy?
the beef? Oh, I was gonna say probably the beefiest one here should go down there, but maybe stealth is better.
I snuck past the dragon.
I clang around quite a bit in this armor.
Oh, good point.
I don't know, Rarith, you're the one that has the fancy cape.
I do have the fancy cloaks, so
It did strike me as fancy.
If you want, remember, I snuck past the dragon once. What's the hole going to be any different?
you did indeed. It's up to you. You choose. Let's roll.
Here, he pulls out a copper piece. Heads I go, tails you go. Heads will be 1.
Sounds good.
Oh, there's a die too. Oh, that's so cool.
Well, guess it's me.
All right. So Yang, you're gonna climb down there. You do so, and you have dark vision.
Nope.
Okay. So what you can see plainly, because you got light coming down, is there's a tunnel that leads forward. It is pretty tight. Like, it is 5 feet wide, and it's maybe 7 feet tall. Like, and it doesn't really have like walls per se. Like, it's kind of like dug through rubble, and so it is a little precarious feeling. Like, it makes you a little anxious to like go through it, but presumably a troll managed to squeeze through here without trouble or without it collapsing.
Seeing that light is a bit of an issue, he'll just crouch down for now and he'll have a listen. Would he hear anything in the immediate area?
He would not.
He will light a torch, wave it up the tunnel entrance to signal the others, and pretty much plants it and waits.
All right, Mr. Fancy Cape, you go first, and then I'll go after you.
All right. Going to switch us over here to a map of the temple. And I'm just putting your tokens here. You can totally rearrange them in any kind of marching order you would like it to be in, but presumably, Yang, you are leading the way forward. So the passageway kind of slants and slopes down quite a bit, and at times angles, and you feel like it's kind of ramping down. But eventually, it opens up into a cleaner corridor where you're in an active part of the old temple is still standing down here, didn't cave in. And you've gone down into the earth probably at least 50 feet down as you navigated through the rubble tunnel. And as you are moving forward, you get to this point, Yang, and as you move around the corner here, oh, you got a torch in hand, right?
Yes, I would have used it to signal the others.
It's lit.
Sorry, excuse me a second. My scoliosis is acting up. I had to move my computer.
Okay, no problem. As you're moving ahead here, Yang, soon as you get to this spot right here, you see, standing right here, a big green basilisk is sitting there.
He is just going to stop, not say a word, and just put his arm behind him to who I assume is Thildi. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Thide.
Thide.
weird.
Sorry, Thide. And he's just gonna put his finger up to your lip.
I have dark vision, so I'm pretty sure I can see this even without the torch, and she's just like trying to scoot her and the other guy back, like, nope, 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 nope.
Is it breathing?
Give me an intelligence check.
Ooh. Intelligence, you got it.
Make one. I don't think I'll do much better.
Sure.
Wait, is there another check I can roll for telling something about a creature besides intelligence?
What what are you hoping to learn? What kind of information?
Overall condition of the basilisk and whether it's likely to be aggressive or not.
You can make an insight check.
Thank you. Finally!
So, basilisks are not. It's definitely positioned there as if it is watching the hall, and it definitely feels like it is serving as some kind of a watchdog, just based on its body language.
Alex, because it might become important, Gabe bought us a round of rerolls.
Oh, yes, it might. It might definitely become important.
Thank
Thank you, Gabe. So, crew. I guess I
Ew.
didn't explain this to the new folks here that are playing, but basically the chat, they have viewer rewards that they earn by cheering and watching and subbing and all those things. And with their points, they may redeem things that impact the game. Could be things that help you, could be things that hurt you, but they're pretty nice, and they've been buying you some rerolls. So you've got 6 rerolls, and that's just in a pot that anybody can use those at any time they want. They just say,
Okay.
I want to use a reroll.
The only way I'm gonna do that is if I nat 1.
Thanks for the gems, man.
And thank you for the cheer, Renreb. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Looks at the guy that can talk to animals and in Elvish very quietly is like, doesn't seem to be aggressive at the moment, but it is acting like a guard dog. Maybe you can talk to it and see what's going on?
I don't think this is a time for singing.
No, I can't talk to that.
Comment. Switching to comment, I was asking if he
No,
can talk to Basilisk.
It was Elvish.
I switched to comment to explain to the other one.
Oh,
I was asking if he
have-
can talk to basilisks.
well, the funny
You
thing
have-
is you can talk to anything, whether or not it understands you. That's another question.
That's what I was looking for, actually.
You have-
So if
Any of that buck left?
Ooh, yeah, feed it.
Do we have?
Marshmallow, would you be able to mute your mic? There's just a lot of static.
that's weird. I wasn't doing that a second ago.
Oh,
I know what's
the
wrong.
question of is there any buck left from Rareth's hunt?
Yeah, sure. You got at least a bit, enough to do whatever you're about to do.
Which is gonna probably lead to instant regret if we're being honest.
At least
So-
instant regret. There's no anxiety about it. It just happens.
It's just gonna be, yep.
Do basilisks speak common by any chance or any other language? I have several.
As a level 1 character, I'm going to say never encountered a basilisk before.
Want me to try to see if it understands like abyssal or infernal or something?
I think I mean, this piece of meat might be a great convincer.
So Yang is holding a torch, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So we're 10 feet away from it with a
Mhm.
the light. So it's seen us at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to talk to it, talk to it. If you want to throw
Yeah,
it some
I'm
food, throw it some food. But at this point, it's seen us.
Actually
If
going.
if it's like alive, I don't really know. Maybe it's a statue. That'd be kind of ironic, a basilisk statue. Because I've heard that they turn things to stone. So
Maybe
a
it's
statue-
Ulgrast. Maybe it's Ulgrast's pet or something.
Can I tell if it's alive?
Ah. I thought for a moment you thought that was Ulgrast, and it's certainly not a troll.
You could make an intelligence check for me.
Ooh.
I mean, it's looking in your direction and it's blinking. It's moving. It's kind of grinning its teeth and it's just like staring, almost like it's daring you to come closer.
When he's done with that, I'm going to attempt to run through my 5 languages I know and see if it understands me at all.
It doesn't respond to any of them.
As a gnome with some familiarity with illusions, I'm gonna try to disbelieve it.
Okay. Give me an intelligence check with advantage.
To figure out what this thing is. Wait, can I make an Arcana check to see if
Hold on.
there's any magical
I'm resolving.
shenanigans? Sorry.
I'm working with Ed right now. So Ed,
Sorry.
Clace looks at you focus, you close your eyes, you focus your energy on that, and when you open your eyes, it's not there.
It's an illusion. It's not real. I'm gonna walk right up to it and like step through it.
No problem. Nothing happens to you. The rest of you watch that happen, and it's kind of like watching like something glitch out. As soon as they step through, you all see the basilisk disappear.
Oh, I wanted to try to cut it. And is Yang's finger still like on my lips?
He probably would have completely forgot that he was doing that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Could you? Yeah. I mean, I appreciate it. I'm pretty loud. I get it, but I mean, just tell me, hey, quiet. I'll be like, okay.
Well, it was more of an issue that I think you were going to run up and cut it because you seem to be a very big fan of cutting things.
Well, with permission, of course.
Now, Thide, do you want to choose to believe it so that it could still be there so you could try to cut it?
I do want it to still be there because I do want to try to cut it because I've never seen such a creature in my life.
All right, give me an intelligence check at advantage.
Did you vocalize that at all? That you want to cut it?
Yeah, I was like, ooh, I want to cut, and then I'll start going forward with my blade. But you want me to give you a what?
Give me an intelligence skill check at advantage to see if you can choose to believe that it's still there.
Oh God.
This is like when my daughter decided that she wanted to re-believe in Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay. When I do the
he's cutting through magic.
When I do the intelligence check, do I click intelligence and not the number?
Yes.
I believe that's right. Yep.
Okay, and then ability check, and then advantage. Cool. Sick.
Okay, so you get a 16, and you close your eyes and think about it. And when you open your eyes, you see that green, beautiful basilisk still there, smiling at you.
I'm going forward and just I'm gonna slice it.
Shing! You cut right through the illusion, and the grinning basilisk just kind of, it's like it gives you like kind of a wink before it disappears. But you see, like the illusion like kind of cuts into two for just a moment, and you have successfully cut
illusion.
Way to go!
Magic in half.
I'm gonna use minor illusion to make 2 half basilisks on the ground.
What do you guys think? I did it. I cut the thing in half.
You killed it. Way to go!
There's 2 more now.
Oh! What? No, that just. Oh, you almost got me. Oh, that was close.
So around the corner here, now that you've dealt with this illusion, you can see that there are 2 wooden doors here on either sides of what looks like an old fountain that's built into the stone wall there. The water inside the fountain is very stagnant. Probably has a little bit of film or something, some kind of algae growing on top of it. But yeah, 2 wooden doors here. A little bit of rubble has fallen in from the ceiling, but for the most part, this little section of the temple that you found is relatively clear. Over here, you can see that it's not represented on the map, and that's because there's this is a secret door that would be over here, but a section of the wall has been pulled aside, and there is a tunnel that's built into the floor there.
Any idea which way they might have gone? Yang, you found their tracks before. Can you find them again?
I'd say keep a lookout for any dirt or debris or mud, probably from the rain. They must have tracked it in here somewhere.
Oh, you're so smart.
I would say just you've already kind of succeeded on that check previously, and it's very clear to see that that pathway leads here.
My best guess would be down the hallway over there.
Well, lead on, McDuff.
I feel like there's a tragedy in this.
Right. Pretend I didn't say that.
So the hole over here has a ladder that leads down 10 feet, and then there's like a kind of like a crawl space kind of tunnel that is traversable. And we can kind of, that's the direction you want to go, I'll just fast track you. It connects up with another section of the temple here, where at the end of that tunnel, there's going to be another ladder that leads up. Move you.
I check something out about the tunnel before we go through it, though. Like,
Sure.
would this space be big enough for a troll to fit through?
It'd be tight, but yes, it could fit.
Yeah, but it'd be uncomfortable. You guys want to go check it out, I guess?
Well, I'm frequently uncomfortable.
I mean, this place doesn't bode well with me, but it's where he most likely went.
I can cut uncomfortable.
You can,
Smell
would
terrible.
would that make it comfortable or double the uncomfortable?
Well, I guess user's choice. What do you want?
Probably doubly uncomfortable, to be honest.
Is this where the Macduff
you're-
tragedy comes in?
It could. I thought we were pretending I didn't say that.
No,
Yeah, but I still
no,
remember
we're
it.
treating it like you said it in character.
Sorry, I don't understand.
I didn't hear you say a thing.
Right. Good. Spot on.
So you climb up through the tunnel, and it brings you into a circular chamber here that is pretty rubble strewn, and there's a hallway that leads off to the east. There's kind of heavy cobwebs kind of clinging to the walls. It's very dusty. Here you can tell that there has been some effort. There probably was some rubble and such that was cleared out here, but it isn't as thoroughly cleared out as the previous area.
Maybe they only just got through here.
Do you think
Do we
this is
go
what
through it
Bird's
again?
planning him to do?
Well, I
Call
believe
for
he's.
him? Should we call out to Ulgrast?
Not really sure calling out's a good idea. You don't know what else is in here.
I'd have to agree with that statement there. That's still. That one just feels off.
Yeah, I'm
But if
agreed.
he's here, he could. Right. Well, I'll trust your judgment.
Well,
But
the last
we-
time we came into a place that was supposed to be abandoned, a dragon showed up and cultists.
Let's avoid that, shall we?
I would agree.
Well, we'd best lead on then.
Is this hallway lit or dark?
Dark. The only light coming from. Is it true, Yang? You're keeping a torch out?
Yep.
Yeah.
I am the poor human who needs some light.
Hey, I'm with you, bud. I don't know. And, feel like we're on the top of the food chain. You know what I'm saying?
So it sounds
Do
like
you want me to
More
scout
readily
ahead?
available to cook it.
Or cut it.
Yes.
Got him.
Well played.
Party, would you like for me to scout ahead?
That'd be great.
I think we can do it together if we really. I mean, together we're stronger.
you feel comfortable doing it, you're better in the dark than I am.
Oh, that makes sense.
All right, so Rarith, you would like to skulk ahead and kind of scout out the next area. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Okay, and I pull up the hood on my cloak.
A map of what we've been in so far.
And that's a
21?
21 for my stealth.
Sure. So I'll just move you ahead kind of where you're moving and such. So this hallway, number of large boulders and rubble on either side of the hallway as you're traversing. You can see at the end of the hall here, there is a wooden door, and then the passageway leads down to the south from there. Would you like to keep going?
I would want to go down and peek around the corner.
Around the corner, you see, again, maybe even more rubble strewn. Big sections of the ceiling have kind of fallen in, and debris from the second level of the temple has piled up over here. And it seems to lead at the very end here. You see a chamber that you see like a number of statues laying on their side. A little bit difficult to see exactly what they are and find details about them, but that's what it looks like, is it maybe some kind of a statuary.
Okay, and that's 90 feet that I can see.
I'm not sure what the vision is, but
Okay.
that's
All right.
that'd be the limit. There's nothing further beyond that to see. So
Okay. So I'm going to quietly go back to the party and tell them what I've found so far.
I press onward then.
Interesting.
There's a door down this corridor to the left. Do we want to try the door?
Is there another way? I would think the door's the option, right?
There is a tunnel or a passage that goes to the south that we could take. The door is to
Which
the
way do
north.
the muddy tracks go?
Do I see the muddy tracks?
give me a survival check. So you definitely see the tracks, but this is more to finer detail. Okay. So it looks like initially the tracks went through this door, but they then came back through the door and went to the south.
Okay. So tracks go to the south. So to the south we are going to go.
That'd be my vote.
Yeah.
Provided we're in a democracy.
The big chamber at the end of this hall, Alex, I can see light there.
No.
No, okay, so it is darkness.
Yeah. Blanket statement is going to be there's nowhere that you'll see light at all in the temple here.
Okay.
So this conversation that you just had took place with Rarith, you down here, kind of talking back to the party over here.
No, I walked back to the party.
Okay.
I didn't know if you still had it paused where I couldn't move myself, but
I would be staying by anyone who doesn't have dark vision because I can see when they can't. Well, who doesn't have dark vision and or a torch.
yeah, I mean the party has light, but I was going ahead because I can see in the darkness and I have good stealth skills, so because of this cloak that I'm wearing.
All right.
Let's go find the big troll then.
So I'm hearing that the party would like to head forward and go to the south there, following the tracks. The hallway is 10 feet wide. Who's forming up the front rank?
I'd be more towards the back.
Clace, where would you be?
Wherever you like. I was taking up the rear before, but I'm happy to go ahead if you'd like.
Would you like
Good
to
at
go
dodging.
in the center
Sure.
and have the fighter tops in the front?
Sounds fine. I'm heavily armored, so I feel safe.
Something like
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So
I'll need someone who's significantly less squishy to be standing in front of me a lot of the time. For now. Oh wait, I'm not squishy. I don't have a lot of health.
all right.
I'm going to be in the very back, Alex.
Okay, you're forming up like that. So you move ahead like 10 feet or so, and you notice Yang and Thide. You notice two of the rocks from this rock pile like start to roll. Like they're fairly substantial boulders, maybe like 3 feet wide or so. They start to like roll forward 10 feet, and they're like coming towards you.
What is that? Yang?
What's going on?
Well, it looks like a rock rolling towards us. I wouldn't assume a pill bug.
And then they're like picking up speed, like they slowly start to roll forward, and then you're having a little converse, and then and they start like Sonic the Hedgehog
Getting out of the way.
rolling right towards the two of you.
I'm gonna jump in front of him and put my shield down like a ramp.
Oh.
All right. Who would you like to do this in front of?
Yang's right in front of me, so I'll get in front of Yang.
Okay.
Behind Yang.
So you jump out in front of Yang, and let's call it either athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Okay.
$13. Okay. I'm gonna have this thing do like a pose check, and we'll handle it that way. We'll see if it like veers off at the last second or something. I'll have it do like a straight D20. Oh, here it is.
Oh.
So it like kind of curtails, and they're both going to knock into Thide. You're the lucky one here. So Thide, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. And that's on the attributes the page too, right? The first one.
Yeah.
You click on dexterity, it'll give you the option between ability check or saving throw.
Thank you.
Yep.
Here we go.
All
We
right.
got some rerolls.
You do have some rerolls. That's true.
You might want to use one for that.
I will use one for that one. I didn't want to use it. Okay, again, correct?
Way
Okay.
better.
That is better.
There you go.
Gosh.
So you dodge out of the way. It doesn't knock directly into you. It just kind of grazes you, and you'll take just 3 points of damage. And right here, we're going to roll initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Boulders?
These are boulders that
Okay.
seem...
These are not just a boulder. It's a rock.
the mineral.
Something I can cut.
A rock lobster.
Oh, Yang, buddy. What are you doing?
Oh, I rolled a 20? Let's go. Or did I?
Yeah, looks like it.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thide, can you give me another dexterity saving throw? I didn't have you do.
Oh, The second one,
The
got
second
it.
one.
Understood.
Okay.
14.
And that one also, like, you kind of juke either side, and you do get a little scrape on that one too. I said 3 points, right? Another 3 points of damage. And so these things actually move through your spot. You avoid them, and both of them are going to end up right here. And they're continuing to move forward. And so the situation is during this round of combat, Rarith, you're like right in front of them as they're moving toward you. And which is perfect because Rarith is up first.
I'm going to pull out my dagger and attack the one in front of me.
Ooh. That will not hit.
Reroll
Oh,
that.
reroll. That will hit.
Should probably save the rerolls though, for in case anyone rolls in that one.
Yeah, we're okay.
I would say do not save the rerolls because you got the whole audience won't buy you more. Don't you?
Yeah, if we don't use them, they won't buy them.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so 5 points of damage. It's sort of interesting, Ruth. As you cut into this thing, it looks like a boulder. It's colored like a boulder, but when you cut into it, it's fleshy.
Oh, okay. So,
All right.
with Dread Ambusher, on my first turn, I get a second attack.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm going to pop that up in the box just so you can see it. Is that what you read as well?
Yeah. Deals a little bit of extra
Extra
damage
if
too.
you hit on the second one. Nice.
Do not know where I am on the initiative order. Can you tell me real quick, please?
Oh,
If you look at the
go
Sorry,
ahead.
Alex, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
If you look at the top right corner of the Foundry window, there's a symbol that looks like a fist. If you click on that, that's the combat tracker. If you right-click on that, it'll pop it out so you can move it around on the screen.
Ooh, thank you.
I'll just do it like this.
right.
Oh, okay. Apparently, I'm up after Stormcutter. Thank you.
And Ed, I don't think you rolled in.
I did. I'm after Laurel. I'm on a 12.
Oh,
All right, so Rarith, you stab at it a second time, dealing 9 points.
No, that was a miss.
Oh,
that was my attack roll.
Oh, that's the attack roll. Did you want to reroll?
No.
All right. Sounds good. That brings us to Thide.
So Thide gets hit by these two fleshy things and takes probably the most pain he's probably ever had in his life. And he turns around and just looks at the most closest thing, and he's just gonna go straight down with the strike with his great blade. How do I select it?
If you see it in your inventory, to the left of the name for the weapon, there's an icon. If you hover over that, it becomes a die, and click on that.
Or were you asking about selecting the
thing I want to attack? Yeah, the boulder.
It's not as sophisticated as Fantasy Grounds in that respect. So, I got you though. You want to attack this one?
Yeah, exactly. Just going for the.
So you could just throw the attack into the chat, and I'll take care of like the targeting and such.
So attack and then damage afterwards. Okay.
Yep.
Go. So
Perfect. 18 will hit.
damage normal.
And 9 points of damage. Same sensation. As you cut through it, you're expecting maybe your sword to kind of ring off of hardened rock or something, but you cut and you can see like it bleeds. This thing.
Yeah, and then maybe bonus action say it's really fleshy. Be careful. And then yeah, just chill.
Sounds good. That will bring us to Laurel's turn.
Crap. Oh, shish kebab, I accidentally closed it out. In a second. I'm sorry, I accidentally closed it out. I was trying to roll for the attack.
No problem. Is it okay if we move on to Clace while you get back in?
Can you have it roll a deck save? Because I know what the DC is for Sacred Flame.
Oh, you just want to do a sacred... Yeah, no problem. So... It rolls a 3, so it will fail.
I will roll that. Can someone roll the 1d8 for me while I'm logging back in, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
So it will deal 3 points of damage. All right.
I'll take it.
That'll bring us to Clace.
I will get my shield in front of me and try to stab the one that Thide just hit with my short sword.
You got it?
I will do so. For 8 points of piercing damage.
Ooh, it looks pretty rough. But then it becomes the bowler's turn. I think this one, it'll try to move into Clace, your spot there. Give me a dex saving throw. Okay, you managed to succeed on that. You'll just take 3 points of damage as it grazes you. So it kind of like tries to ram forward, tries to knock you off your feet, and then like turns backwards and bounces off the wall, and like is now going to try to do like a Goomba stomp on you as it like ricochets off the wall and tries to like slam down on you. I didn't really build this into fantasy or Foundry, so I'm just rolling a 20, and let's see, a 14 plus an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right, it knocks into you and does 3 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And then we've got the second one here is gonna try to knock Rarith off his feet. Dexterity saving throw.
Place is bleeding real good.
All right, you manage to stay on your feet. It just kind of grazes you, 3 points of damage, and then kind of does the same thing as it like. It's like kind of rolling around your legs, and you're dodging it and whatnot, and it just like somehow, even though it doesn't have legs or anything, it just like a bouncy ball like ricochets off of the floor and tries to like knock you in the chin.
Stay off my beard, Boulder.
And you move out of the way, and it just bounces and it hits the ceiling, like comes back down and kind of bouncing like a basketball. And then it's Yang's turn.
This is ridiculous. As he's seeing it bounce off of Clace, he's just gonna go up like a volleyball spike and just give it a good old slap.
Okay.
Bump, set, spike. Yeah.
22.
Hits. And as you like palm it, it like splats on the ground, and it's just kind of like one of those rubber play balls that you'd like play Foursquare with or whatever. Just it's kind of like air is kind of like coming out of its body and deflating. That one's dead.
And he's gonna, as it goes in his place, as he's seeing it miss Rayla's magnificent beard, he's gonna go up, and then instead of the volleyball spike, he's gonna do the exact same thing, but with his foot. And he'll whack it again. So boop. 23 to hit for another 5 points.
All right. This one's still up. But that'll bring us to the top of the order, and Rarith, it is your turn.
Do you want Laura to go because she didn't get to go?
Oh, we resolved it. She did Sacred Flame and did a little more.
I'm sorry.
Originally I was gonna do Guiding Bolt, but because I couldn't do the roll on the thing, I'm like, I'm just gonna do Sacred Flame. Roll a dex save for me because I know what the DC is.
Perfect. So we're back to the top, and Rarith, it is your go.
Okay, free action. I'm pulling out my scimitar, and I am going to make an attack with the dagger. $16.
That hits.
To figure out if there's going to be any more combat encounters besides this one, but whatever.
5 points of damage.
It is still up.
And then I'm going to attack with the scimitar.
That one misses.
I'll take a reroll on that one.
All right. 3 rerolls left. And that one will
That's a miss.
Which brings us to Thide.
Thide is so enamored by Clay's not Clay's, sorry, Yang's volleyball like type of hit. He kind of wants to try to do the same. So free action, put my put my great sword away, and then jump over Yang into the boulders area and do the unarmed strike.
Okay, you're gonna do your own like elbow or strike or whatever.
Yeah, like just try to do whatever he tried to do, but like I've been doing so many sword swings with my arm, like I'm gonna try to do that, but like just bonk it on the head.
Okay,
Hammer fist.
Give me a like a strength check, like it is a straight strength skill check.
Okay. Cool. 7.
Would you like to reroll?
I will. Since yeah, everyone's gonna. Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have to. We have to. I'm sorry.
We won't get any more.
We won't get more. 13.
13. You drop down and wha-bam! Is it a palm strike or like a knuckle strike or elbow?
I'm gonna say a palm strike because I do know fighting, and I feel like I can semi like remember what Yang did and try to do that. Yeah.
So it's sort of the sensation of like it feels like you've caved in like its head or something as you do so, and like it again like kind of deflates a bit and stops moving as you do so, and so you feel like you've successfully knocked this thing out. And the chat just redeemed you another reroll, so you're back up to 3.
Best chat ever.
Thanks, chat.
They love us.
Thanks, guys. What the devil were these things?
I don't know.
Still one attacking us, so we can watch that one and find out. Oh, it's gone.
No, yeah. The
the-
palm strike worked, and
Well, that's good to know. If we face them again, just put your weapons away.
Literally, this thing hurt me so much. I feel like shit.
It's kind of
Here.
smacked the crap out of me too.
Do you think?
Okay.
Do you think
Who
it
needs
was?
healing?
Oh, I will take it if anyone else needs it.
I'm a bit below half.
I am half.
I'm fine.
Do you... I'm actually going to use Cure Wounds on both of you.
Thank you.
My Forge isn't cooperating, so if I tell you the dice for
Sure. Yeah, 1d8.
for Cure Wounds, can you roll it for me? It's a D8 and then you add 5.
All right. We'll say this one is for Thide. So 11 points back.
Yep. Do I have? I only go up to my max though, right?
Correct. Yep. Other one is 13 back to place.
Back to max. Nice.
All right.
Gonna
The dust
say
is.
this right now.
Go ahead.
Probably avoid any combat encounters. I'm not going to be able to heal you guys again until I get some sleep.
Let's hope none of the other rocks attack us.
There are a lot more of these piles of boulders down this hallway.
Well, we've passed several, and most of them didn't attack us.
But you went through them and they weren't active. The second we walked forward, they were.
Maybe it was attracted to the light.
Well,
Yeah,
Rare-
just like
Dar-
ponders for a second.
Rarith
the
did have a
hate
special cloak sneaking down the hallway and such.
That is true.
Oh.
I have dark vision. We could try doing this without the torch.
Or we could try sneaking. I'm kind of
Let's-
clanky, but I'll try it.
Let's try the stealth route.
Okay. So you all want to move ahead, and your plan before the boulder thing happened was to head south to that statuary room that Lareth had, or
Rareth.
Rarith. Very important distinction.
Yes.
One of them.
Lareth is not showing up tonight, I promise.
Don't worry,
that
Rareth.
wasn't a
You're
Freudian
also
slip?
beautiful.
Yes. So
Beautiful beard.
you're kind of
Thank you.
kind of sneaking forward, probably taking some precaution as you see rock piles and such. But you manage to make your way down into this room. And as you are looking about, you can see that there indeed is a number of monstrous statues that lie fallen over, tipped over. Some of them have broken and are not really distinguishable anymore, but there are a couple that are still whole. There's one that is in the form of a dragon. There's one that's in the form of a beholder. There's one that is in the likeness of a fire giant, a manticore, and a Medusa. You get the sense, just based on the positioning of where they are, that at one time there may have been 8 or so of these statues, but they've all the remaining ones have broken.
I have the strangest feeling of deja vu.
Deja vu?
Like you've been in this place before.
Yes.
Yeah, I think at least 2 of you have been here in a former life.
Yep.
Do we know how many more of these we have to investigate? I just want to go home.
No, we really don't.
I guess it all depends on if we find our troll friend now.
Well, you all said not to call for him, so I won't do that.
I guess it's a good thing we didn't,
no,
because those
no, no,
bullets
no,
would have
no,
came
no.
earlier.
Maybe. I didn't see if they had ears. Or eyes.
Can I see where the tracks are leading?
They lead up in this direction.
Probably they felt vibrations. I think that's what a boulder would do.
Maybe?
I guess it's pick up good ones then.
We continue to follow the tracks.
As you look in that direction to start heading in that way, you do see partially buried body of a hobgoblin here.
Oh,
He's dead. The weight of these rocks surely killed him on impact. but the body is fresh and has not decomposed, and so it suggests that maybe this is fairly recent.
Well, Byrne did say that Ulgrast had hobgoblin compatriots.
Yes, he did.
What could have caused them to be crushed by the rocks? Do you think they were excavating and an accident happened, or something else?
It was the falling.
Can I tell if the hobgoblin was the one making the tracks that we're following?
There is a set of tracks that larger boots, and there are there's a couple of tracks that are smaller that would have been made by, well, like one of the tracks leads like to this spot here. It doesn't appear as if he was excavating. You get the sense that he was walking through here, and then the cave-in happened, and he was standing in the wrong spot, and the ceiling from above fell down on him.
And this looks like a fairly substantial cave-in.
Yes. Most of this rubble is the work stone from up above. Intertwined with it is some kind of a weird, like, kind of copper wiring or copper mesh that maybe was kind of built into like the stonework of the floor or ceiling up above. But it's it's like the debris from the second level of the temple having fallen in right.
But it looks like it's fresher than it. I was thinking maybe it was the sound that we had heard yesterday, but you're saying it's fresher than that.
No, actually, that makes a lot of sense once you think about that. That
rumbling, that jerk.
Yeah. In the temple, if you'd asked that little frog about where it was coming from, and I'm going to say that you kind of got the sense he was saying that it might have been from something in Nulb. Well, the temple is like kind of right on the threshold of Nulb. It's just a short jaunt south. So the tremor might have been stronger here than it was when you felt.
So the frog may have actually been helpful.
Well, at least it tells us this place is still not stable even after all these years.
But
Do you have a helmet? Put it on.
I look at Clays. How do you say it?
It rhymes with place.
Clays. I talked to Clays in Gnomish, and I ask if he knows the creature that I'm pointing out, and I'm pointing to the one-eyed creature that's a statue.
That is called an eyeballer.
An eyeballer.
Mm-hmm.
My mother told me if I ever see an eyeballer, I should run. Yeah,
Very wise, your mother.
she said it killed my father.
I'm just shitting you. I have no idea what that is.
What?
I don't know what it is. I made that up just now.
Okay, well, if I ever see that, my mom said I had to run away from it.
I think your mom is right. I mean, it looks terrifying. I don't know what it is.
But then I point my sword at it, and I say, I will cut you one day.
I wouldn't try to cut this one because it's made of stone, and that could be really bad for your sword.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm not that dumb. I mean, I tried killing a boulder earlier, and a basilisk, I was ranking up my score, having so much fun. But
Boulder works, so maybe I'm wrong. I won't tell you how to live your life.
Hey, I'm just trying to live my best life. Thanks, Clays.
I think you're doing a great job. As far as I can tell, I've only known you for 3 days.
Well, it's been the best 3 days of my life. Trust me.
Well, that's wonderful.
While they're having this conversation, I'm going to be checking the body.
Sure. It looks like you could probably move him or remove him from the rubble safely. it'll take you a little bit of time, probably an hour or so of moving the rock material and such. You want to be deliberate while you're doing it, but it's very feasible to do. Would you like to spend that time doing that?
I'll ask the party if we think we have the time to maybe give this guy a chance at a proper burial.
Okay.
If it's important to you, I'll help.
Oh, it's not so much important.
I am a cleric, so I can handle the last rites angle.
Okay. So you spend the next part of the hour clearing the debris, removing the body from the pile there. The hobgoblin was wearing a suit of leather armor, and all of his materials and goods that he may have carried with him are all broken, his gear and such. But you can recover a bit of coin if it was your choice to do so, that he had on his person. And he has a bit of rope that would have survived a 50-foot length.
You guys are welcome to loot the body if you feel. I don't do that.
I don't suspect he needs it. I don't need it either, but I wouldn't begrudge anyone.
I tend to not, if I'm handling someone's burial, loot their body.
Well, you can't spend it now.
Well, you have a point. It's up to the party.
Well, you guys are free to take it if you want, but I don't take stuff off of somebody whose burial I'm doing.
Hey, that's totally fine for you to do. That's perfectly acceptable. As Yang is taking the rope and wrapping cloth around his arms, and then wrapping the rope around his arms, pretty much making Muay Thai gloves.
Sounds good.
That'll be really good. Looks like you really messed up your knuckles there.
They break easily. I prefer to have protection when I can.
It's a good idea. Always use protection if you can.
Words to live by. All right, it's
moving
for
on?
now.
All right. So you want to move on and move in this direction here?
Smells
Yep.
pungent.
All
Follow
right.
the large tracks.
Follow the leader.
Well, that's a pleasant sight.
Good at following.
Hey,
All right.
Quick. Sorry, can I ask something out
Sure.
of character real quick?
Sure.
About how much longer for the session?
I'm gonna guess probably an hour.
Okay. I only
Uh,
asked because I'm getting a little bit hungry.
okay. If you
Wait
need
the
to
hour
if you need to
before
leave
getting
the
food, though.
keyboard and take care of something, that's totally fine. So as you all move ahead here, you come into now. Just realize this map. This isn't a big lush garden here anymore. This is what it looked like on the map. It is what it looked like 10 years ago. But now, as you are coming into this portion of the temple, much of this there's heavy soil that lines the floor, and you get the sense that at one time this was some kind of a garden that was cultivated here. But all of the plant growth has since decayed and withered away. There's like plant material from vines that lies rotting throughout the room, completely dead. But to the southwest, you see, I think, what you are looking for. You can see the body of Ulgrast, well, a troll at least, is sticking out from the rubble, unconscious, face down. Only like his kind of top torso is exposed. His back's, it looks like from his like kind of midsection down is completely pinned down by rock and boulder.
You guys want to help me get him out and see if he's still alive or not?
I'll run forward and, making an assumption that this is Ulgrast, place a hand on them and pump in 1 point of lay on hands.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and move yourself into the room, and if anyone else is moving into the room, you can place yourselves where you're hanging out or in relation to this. And so, as place you move forward and you perform the lay on hands on Ulgrist, you can see his eyes kind of open up, and he looks up at you and he says, "Oh, hey, who are you?"
Oh, I'm Clace. It rhymes with place. You look like you've had a rough go.
Stuck. So cold. Freezing. Did you feel it?
Do I?
And now that you take a second as he says it, you kind of ran into this room. You can feel it. It feels like almost like standing in a cooler, like that temperature. Like you could see your breath while you're in here.
Now you mention it, it does feel a bit chilly.
All right, let's try to get him out of the rubble at least.
And the light from the torch that Yang is holding kind of flickers, and it seems like it's almost struggling to light the room. And as you're looking around from the walls, you can see this like shadowy apparitions are starting to emerge out from the crevices and cracks of the walls. One here,
Not right.
and one here.
Oh, snap.
And as that happens, we will get back into initiative.
Oh, man.
Second here.
Roll initiative for me, please. Forge is still giving me a hard time.
Sure, no problem. All right, and as this happens, we're going to begin things with Laurel. You're going to start things off.
Trying to figure out if I should. Oh, trying to figure out what I should do. Spells. I guess
Sorry.
first things first, I guess, figuring out if I can hit these guys. Have the closest one to me roll a dex save.
Sounds good. Dex save is rolled, and it is a 13.
Makes it.
All right. So we're going to move on here and go over to Clace.
So these look like shadowy creatures.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I am going to move out sort of between Thide and Rareth there, trying to get in the path to Ulgrist, and I will draw my short sword and shield, and we'll take the dodge action.
Sounds good. Ulgrist is up. Ulgrist just points. He's like, there they are. Make Ulgrist feel weak. And the couple of the shadows will take their turn here. First one will be this one. Moves over to Thide. And going to attempt stealth check with a bonus action. Does not do so. And is going to reach out and try to grab at your body. A 23 to hit.
Yeah.
Is it apparent that they're trying to like weave into shadows and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think so. It's almost like, I guess the way we'll flavor it is like they're not actually like receding the light from the torch, but it kind of feels like they're almost like kind of pushing back at the light is like the feel. So it looks like you get the sense that they would prefer to stay in the darkness if they could. And so damage is 11 points of damage.
Sorry.
You're strong. You're strong, right?
Barely. Sorry. Damn, dieting a knife.
I was looking to see if the strength drain is a save, but apparently it's not. So you're also going to take a little bit of temporary ability score damage. 3 points off of your strength score.
Hell no. Wow, so I'm down to 1 hit point, boys and girls.
This one will move over here. Oof. And it like as it like moves forward, Clace, it like seems to kind of like the particulate of its form kind of like melds with the darkness and the gloom around you.
Can I try to roll a net? I can't even beat that on a net 20. Never mind. I just remembered how poor my perception is. It does not have advantage though because I was dodging.
Oh, that's true.
Big brains. Let's go.
Oof. And this is probably the opportunity for the DM reroll, so we'll put that to work here.
I mean, he doesn't have to use the reroll.
But he's gonna miss.
I mean, he has to
It
use
really
the reroll.
pays off.
Thank God.
And it becomes Thide's turn.
Thide gets hit with probably the most damage he's ever had in his whole life, and he's like, "Why me?" And he wants to use his action to take out the torch and light it, and he wants to probably maybe bonus action try to light the surrounding vegetation that's dead.
I'm gonna say,
Because I didn't have my sword out or anything. I was trying to help the debris.
yeah, you don't have anything in hand, so I'm gonna say like pulling out the torch and lighting it. I'll let you do that as just like your interact with that.
Okay, interact with the object. Yeah, light that thing and maybe try to see what vegetation I can light on fire because this is like do or die situation.
Okay. Yeah. You burn. There's a bit of that kind of dried up vine. It's gonna be kind of a flash in the pan. Like this is gonna burn. It's gonna burn bright for basically 2 rounds, and it'll be gone.
Oh, cool.
So that happens. So that's your action. Then will be lighting the vine.
Lighting the vines, yeah,
So
for
it's
sure.
Bright light throughout the chamber for 2 rounds.
Cool.
All right, and that will bring us to Rarith.
Okay, bonus action, Hunter's Mark on. How do I get it to show the ping?
If you just like click and hold, you'll make a little, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
That one.
Hunter's Mark on that one. And then I am going to move. Right up here. And I am going to shoot at the one that I marked.
Okay, sounds good. And
18.
that will hit.
And that's 5 points. Plus I get a, what is it, D8?
Is it D8 or is it D6?
Hunter's Mark is the D6.
I think he's referring to his dread ambusher thing.
No, it
Oh,
was
Sucker.
right,
no,
right.
no. It was Hunter's Mark. And another 3 points, so 8 total.
Sounds good. You do note that it seems like your arrow does damage to it with the physical part of the damage there from the arrow itself, but it just kind of whisks away at its form a little bit, and it doesn't feel quite like an arrow piercing into flesh and whatnot, so it's got a little resistance there. All right. That'll bring us to Yang.
Seeing the shenanigans that's happening, he's gonna swiftly dash past Rareth. He's gonna plant the torch right in front of him, right there, and he can get up to bite here. And he's gonna do 2 quick like claw strikes at this shadow right here. So first attack will come in this way. A 12.
12 hits.
Oh, excellent.
Go.
For a total of 6. Bonus action, I will smack him again. 21 to hit. For another 11.
All right, this thing is looking a little less of a shadow there than the other forms. Anything else, Yang?
That is action, bonus action movement. I'm all set.
All right. This one here will move over. Not able to shadow step or whatever there, but will do an attack at disadvantage. Place. Wow, 20?
Gonna hit.
Oh no.
12 points.
I'm down.
And 3 strength damage. Laurel, it is your turn.
Who's still up?
Everyone's Clace is the only one that's down.
Yeah.
The dying on Clace cantrip, so I can still cast it.
Okay, I'll move you up there. Yep. So then Clace, you're stabilized.
If any of you guys can heal, now would be a very good time.
I think Rareth probably can. I'm the only other healer besides you two.
You see Yang just like just shrug at you.
And I will make a ruling here on the one of the EXP store items. It's also a ruling and a hint to the audience that if they were to redeem the nat 20 on a death saving throw, I would allow a stabilized character to use that. So right now, Clace, we're past over you. There's no threat to you dying at the moment. From a sort of disadvantaged position here underneath the rubble, Ulgrast will try I'm gonna say it's a attack at disadvantage, but he'll try to attack that shadow that stepped into its reach.
If it's in light, does he have advantage on it? I don't know how shadows work.
I don't think he has advantage. It just means they can't.
Shadow
They
step.
can't get their sneaky
Shadow step.
sneak. Yeah.
Well, I can be hopeful.
But he does hit.
Nice. Get him, Ulgrast. Get him.
Smack that shadow on the floor. Smack that. Give me some more. Smack that till you. Wow.
Oh, buddy.
Down.
So
2
he
10s, 2 1s.
he's
Can we hold
clearly.
on? Can we
uh,
pause a second? I want to hear more of that song.
I'm sure someone can clip it and we could hear it. We can listen to it
You can listen
all
to it
night
over and
long in
over.
Gen 2 later.
Yeah.
Good. I hope so.
Ulgrist is clearly, as he's like swinging forward, it's very feeble. Like he's probably been strength drained a bit here himself. He'll take a second swing. That one misses,
Oh, I see.
and he's got a bite, which hits.
Clace is hearing Thide's song in her sleep.
All right, a mere point of damage, Shadow.
Every point counts.
Mm-hmm.
Although shadows, if they're in sunlight, there's some advantage that you can.
And anyone secretly hiding his sun sword with them.
Yes.
No, I don't think any level 1 character would have that.
This shadow here is going to turn its attention to Yang and try to hit him. Misses. This one here turns its attention to Thide, tries to hit. $22.
Yeah, and then I will do not step of the wind. Jesus. Second wind.
Oh, second wind you have to do on your turn as a bonus action. But I
thought it was a reaction. Sorry.
I don't think you used a bonus action on your previous turn, so if you would like, I'll let you go back in time and do that.
Yeah. 1d10. Yeah, let's roll that. Let's see what happens. 9.
Nice.
Okay. So maybe
So I'm
you'll
at 10.
maybe you'll survive this.
Maybe.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
that's 10 hit points back. That's pretty great.
Forward.
Oh,
12 points of damage.
Oh,
I'm down.
It still brings you down.
Again.
Okay.
Yikes.
And 2 points of strength damage. So here's the scary thing about shadows is if they bring if one of your physical ability scores gets to 0, it's instant death.
Oh shoot.
So that's the really scary thing about the strength drain.
So if I had a +5 to it before, now it's at 0 because it was first 3, now 2.
your strength score, if they start at 16 and that's you get all the way to 0,
Okay.
you're dead.
Cool. Damn.
And then Thide, it is your turn. You're down. So just roll a d20 for the death saving throw.
You got it. Is it? It's not on like the page, right? It's a regular d20.
It's probably somewhere on the page, but you
if
could.
If it means anything, I believe a net 20 on a death saving throw was just redeemed.
That's true. Oh, hey, Chris just redeemed award a natural 20. So
you
here's
should
what
take it.
you can use it. You can use it right now, and you'll get 1 hit point, and you can use half of your movement to stand up and take your turn.
I will take it. I see Sith Lord and just saying, take it, do it. I thank you. I will use that graciously.
All right.
Somehow I find my third wind.
Yes.
And yeah, from here, I'll just free action, take out my greatsword, and just like zombified, like go forward and do a attack overhead. And yeah, I have no plus to my strength, so it's gonna be just a roll.
Sounds good.
See?
Would you like to use a reroll? There's 3 rerolls.
Any proficiency bonus still? So it's you think they still have the +2?
I have a plus
Oh,
3.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What was your strength score? I assume it was 16, dropped down to 10.
16 does. Oh, I get it. It's not even the proficiency, right?
Yeah, your proficiency
It doesn't
bonus
affect your proficiency.
would make it a 12, and a 12 will hit.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm at 13. Yeah. Then. Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, I hit it. Woo.
Nice.
And then I back up 1 hit point, and then I will go in for the damage.
Yep.
Okay. I think.
Your damage will be a straight roll. There'll be no mod.
In it.
Oh, there it is. No damage. Roll normal. 10 points.
Nice.
Okay.
10 points. This one is looking pretty rough, but it is still there.
Oh, I can't wait till my turn comes around. I just got an idea.
I thought I can cut. And then from here, I'll just stand where I'm at because I feel like I'm zapped.
You're cutting great. Just keep cutting.
I'm a cutter. I'm a track star.
All right.
You cut that darkness.
Rareth, it is your turn.
Thanks, Ian. Where's Yang?
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. 20, 25, 30. I'm going to move to there and cast Cure Wounds on Clace.
The only healer.
Oh,
Hey,
big heal, too.
Nice.
10 points of damage.
Amazing.
Or healing. That's pretty much all I can do.
All right, yay.
You see, like before you were going up, Rareth, he was like looking nervous, like he was about to run away from this. But now that people are up now, he's a lot more calm. He's gonna just look at you and say, "Good job," and just pull a back fist on the shadow that's right in front of him. First attack, bam.
Got him?
For doo 9 points.
Whew, you hit it. Disperses.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe if I scoot over here, Rareth was been shooting at this one, correct?
Yes, that's the one that's Hunter's Mark.
He'll come by and then just do a quick elbow with his bonus action. Boop.
That will hit.
16, and for another 7 points.
All right, that one looks pretty rough. Barely clinging to the material plane. But it is up, and it is going to try to retaliate. Yang. It misses. Back to the top. Laurel, it is your turn.
I actually have an idea. Looking at the party, who's the most dinged up and who has a weapon out?
Yeah.
At this point, I think that Thide is the most beat up.
Mm-hmm. And weapon out.
Because they like to avoid light. So, because you said we would have noticed they try to avoid light, so she has an idea. Thide, hold up your weapon for a second. And she just casted light on it. cantrip.
Awesome.
So it stays. Your sword is now glowing bright light within a 20-foot radius. An additional 20 feet gives off dim light.
Oop.
Probably
Excellent.
fairly useful right now. I think that vine probably just burned up, so
Exactly.
you've re-illuminated the room so that they can't withdraw into the darkness.
Lit.
Goes down, the light still stays on the weapon.
Absolutely. Yep. That'll bring us to Clace.
I will use half my movement to stand up and leave my short sword where it fell, draw out a torch and light it. And is that an object interaction?
Yeah.
So I still have.
Mhm.
Then I will swing it at the one down here that is beat up.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm just going to use the club stats. Does that make sense?
Sure.
And this would be 1 point lower because of my strength drain.
That'll hit.
Okay. And again, this will be 1 point lower because of strength drain as well. And I don't know how you want to handle the fire, but hitting it with the club.
Yeah, I don't remember. We'll say there's a point of fire damage on there as well.
Okay.
So total of 3 points.
I feel like that was probably at least a little bit strategic that I made the other one sword glow.
Anything else, Clace?
No, I think that's all I've got for now.
All right. Ulgrast is still conscious and awake, and he's going to keep trying here to take a couple of swings in his feeble state. That one misses. That one misses. That one misses. He's trying to reach out and grab it, but he's just, you can see he's like just barely staying conscious. Shadow over here doesn't like the light wielder. You're gonna turn its attention on Thide.
Mm-hmm.
But that will miss. Thide, it is your turn.
He tries to go in for an attack. I see that my great sword is lit. I'm just gonna go in for the attack, straight forward. And remember what Yang said: cut. And so that's what I'm remembering. And so I'm going in for the wall.
This one is at full strength, so if you hit, this will be the first damage on this one. That will hit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. And then I will do my damage. Hey.
Awesome. So you cut through, kind of whisks away at the form, and then you got like two shadows momentarily before that darkness kind of coalesces and comes back together.
And I guess right now, I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna bonus action, just like kind of like put my sword forward to like emanate the light to going towards the shadow, and then that'll be the end of my turn.
It kind of recoils a bit. It stays real close to you, but you can see it's kind of trying to circumvent. Its reach is trying to go around your sword and get at you directly. Rarith, it is your turn.
Thod, my friend, how are you feeling?
I feel like crap, honestly.
Let's see if we can fix that a little bit.
Oh,
Nice.
Feel a little better now?
oh, I feel great. Thanks.
Keep
You're the
cutting.
best. Cut.
Free action, I'm putting away my bow. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Yang, it is your go.
He's going to just center himself and pretty much just do a 2 palm strikes at the one to his left. First one, bam, super hits.
Ooh.
Hits.
Did you roll a nat 20?
I wish I did.
Fortunately, no.
17.
5 points of palm strike damage,
All right. It is still up.
and he's gonna hopefully, for someone who's not here today, give it a good old axe kick. Bam, 21
Hits.
for a solid number of 9.
Your head connects right where its kind of shadowy head is, and as it passes through, the head disappears, and the rest of the form just kind of like a cloak falling off a body just drops, and then there's nothing.
Yang will shift on over here and just shift his attention to the shadow.
All right, we're back to the top. Laurel, it is your turn.
Does anyone else have a weapon out?
I think everyone
I
except
have
the
a-
monk probably has
I'm
something.
wielding a torch.
Yang is just using his fists.
Hey, what was your name again? The one wearing glasses?
I don't have a weapon out currently.
Someone else has a weapon out, so have the closest shadow to me roll a dex save, please.
All right. Morale check for the shadows, yeah.
They're really down in the dumps.
Makes it with a 17.
Yeah, the save, I believe, is a 3rd, or the thing I'm thinking of.
Doe Legion, come back around next month. I'll be playing some old school essentials on Saturday morning, so you can see some morale checks happening.
Yeah,
Sacred Flame
play.
is 12. Sacred Flame's 12, so anything over a 12 makes it.
Yep, that's what he makes. All right. That'll bring us to Clace.
All right, I'll continue to swing my torch at it. I adjusted the strength so it'll be accurate now.
All right, you got him.
Good hit.
4 bludgeoning, and then whatever the
Little fire
another
on
point
top.
of fire damage.
Awesome.
And I have a big storm rolling in, so if I disappear, that's why.
Oh, okay.
Be getting that soon.
Ulgrast is just kind of cheering you on. He's like, guys, you must be Cult of Hommlet. I've seen brave fighters like you before.
Did you just call us a cult?
And
I was just gonna let it go.
Shadow here is going to... It's going to continue on the bright sword wielder.
Oh, Samwise does not like the storm.
Oh, but it misses. Side, it is your turn.
Man, it's just trying to reach around a lot, and I'm not about that kind of lifestyle. So I'm going to just straight up put my great weapon up and strike down. And I would like to use my feat, great weapon strike. So it's going to be a -5.
Oh, yeah.
To my thing, but it would add +10 to my damage.
Awesome.
Big hits. You got this.
Big whammies, boys. Big I mean girls. Big whammies. Here we go.
Big money.
Going for the attack. -5.
Use
Reroll
one of the
combined.
rerolls if you
Oh,
get
no,
reroll
It doesn't
too low.
even need it. You got it.
Yeah, I'm going in for the frickin' damage. And while the while this is happening, 20 points of damage.
20 points of damage. Go ahead.
Shit!
That's the number you needed because he has
Nice.
resistance. He had 10 hit
Oh,
points left, so
really?
he had to do 20 to do this. So tell us, what do we see as you do the final blow?
So the light the sword has just been enamorating him, and he's been looking at it because he really loves his sword, and that's the only thing he keeps clean. That's the only thing he loves, and he just goes straight up, and you see the light still there, and then you see the sword kind of like cut through the shadow, and the light starts dissipating as the shadow starts dissipating as well.
Awesome. So as you do that, the temperature in the room returns normal. It's not so frigid and cold, and the light has no problem dispersing throughout, filtering through the room. And Ulgrast just very meekly says, "Ah, my heroes! Ulgrast needs help. I'm stuck."
Let's try to dig the big guy out.
Yeah,
Being the two
A little bit harder
very
now that
strong
we're
members,
I
no
will.
longer strong.
I'll do it.
And over
Earth,
the
you good?
course of maybe like 30 minutes or so, like moving this, again, like same thing as before, you're trying to do this carefully as not to cause further collapse or whatnot, but you manage to free him, and you can he kind of lumbers out and he says, "Ah, Ulgrast thanks you. Cult of Hommlet?
You know a fellow named Byrne?
Burn. Yes, he's the leader of the cult of Hommlet."
Right.
He told us that you are the king of the trolls.
"That's right, you got it, pal.
Him already?
Ulgrast, very rich, very powerful. I find a lot of interesting stuff down here. But, start hearing some, like, scratching down here. I see strange man. I follow him down here with some of my, they're not friends, they're employees. Followers of the great Ulgrast. We come down here, and I see him. He go through that door." He's pointing at the wooden door that you see over here. "I'm gonna follow him. Give me bad feeling. Up to no good. Maybe try to take Ulgrast's stuff."
Definitely wouldn't want that.
But then there was like a big, like, shaking. Whole temple shaking. All the stuff come falling down. I get trapped there, and then these nasty shadows drain Ulgrast's strength. Maybe they work for that man. Maybe they're trying to help him steal my stuff. Maybe.
No, we can't let that happen now, can we?
No. Oh.
How long ago was this?
I've been, feels like day or so I've been stuck there.
Wow, you are strong.
Means he's probably long gone by now.
Don't know. I haven't seen him come up.
Well, you all look a little beat up. Do you want to take a second?
We definitely need to.
Rarith's magic is I feel nearly healed, although weakened.
I have the 4 hours basically acting like a long rest if people can buy me like 4 hours at a time, if that helps.
I cannot cast
It'll
any
give
more
me
spells
some of my
today.
healing spells back.
We could try to take a rest here.
Yeah. As long as it's not cold, I'd rather be outside. But if we sleep here, I mean, and if that's okay with you, Ugrith, it's obviously it's your place. We would be your guest.
Oh, yeah, we can stay here if you want. Of course.
I'm going to need at least 4 hours to get my magic back so I can heal better.
I think it might take longer than that for me to get my strength back, but we'll take what we can get, right?
All right. So, party would like to take a long rest. Any special things that you want to do before or during this long rest?
As many objects in this room as I can with light, for one, because cantrip and I can cast as many times as I want.
Sure.
Make sure the room's well lit, basically.
Let's see if I can find enough of the vegetation that's substantial enough that we could make a little fire.
Yeah, you can.
Would help.
And
That would help with the light spell only lasting for an hour.
And as you light the fire, it basically naturally kind of chimneys up and out through the ceiling over here, and so very comfortable warmth. And you take your long rest. In the midst of the rest, there is but a moment. There is a moment where something strange happens, and we're gonna say I'll roll randomly for when it happens. Okay, interesting. It happens on the last watch. On the last watch, you notice that there is a mist that passes from the north part of the room past you to the door.
Oh.
We will just say, let me just see. Yang, you're the one that's on that watch as you see that happen. And the others are kind of stirring awake as you observe it.
See anything in?
Anything I noticed particularly about the mist other than it just being a mist passing through the room? Like, did the temperature drop at all, similar to a shadow were to appear here, or
it did not. It wasn't like that, but it moved deliberately.
Anyone know anything about moving mist?
So you saw some mist go through a door.
Yes.
Hey, look.
In mist move? In wind? I don't feel much wind. For the jams, man!
It had almost purpose, it seemed.
Well, that's a little bit spooky.
Is the door wet?
Not particularly, no. It looks pretty weathered and worn and beat up, but it isn't like bowled out or anything like that.
Hey, big guy, how are you feeling now that we've all had a rest?
Better. Still not 100%, but...
You still be able to fight if we ran into trouble?
Ulgrast, always ready to fight.
I like his spirit.
I like you. How much health is he missing, by the way?
His issue isn't that he's missing health, it's that his strength has been drained.
Oh, yeah, that's not something you can fix right away based on how you explained how the shadows work.
Did we heal our strength drain from the long rest?
Yeah, let's see.
Whoa, thanks for the jams, man!
Google time. Time to Google everything.
Oh, I guess it all comes back on the rest. So he's fine. He's like, yeah, feeling great, feeling strong. Let's do this.
King Ulgrast, please lead the way.
I will do so. And he just like kicks this door in. He's like, fuck doors. Ah!
Oh, let me know next time. I'll cut it open for you.
I'm really more of a fan of him with the whole fuck doors situation.
He's like leading you forward. And there's
He's recovered. That's great.
Wow, he
Out
is
of-
zooming through here.
He is so
Out
fast.
of character, I love him. He's one of my favorite characters.
He leads you forward. And give me just a second. I'm going to switch to another map for a second. And thank you so much for the cheers. Got the bad boy of the internet here. Chris Jones.
Chris.
So, Thai, do I look like the rest of you looks like a piece of shit, but your sword looks immaculate?
Well,
Dang. Be nice.
if I
I'm just
told you, if I tell you, will you be my friend?
You just see him just with the straightest deadpan face of, sure.
So I can cut better.
What did I expect?
I got a friend. I got a friend.
I mean, you are pretty cut.
Technically, you have two of them. I'm the other one.
Can I be inspired?
Sure.
I thought we shared a moment.
Sure.
I thought we were already friends.
There was a connection that just formed between this.
I-
And you feel it in the air.
I can feel
Friendships and bonds are being made as you make your way down the descending stairways. You make your way down onto an empty, large landing. The walls of this hall are covered in mosaic murals. And this place seems like it hasn't sustained any of the damage of the upper floors. Like, it's very little debris here. And as you're looking at these
See-
mosaics on the walls, they depict nauseating scenes of frolicking demons, vile slimes and molds, and giant humanoids on some kind of a battlefield. And there's just bodies lying in their wake, fallen victims. And as you're coming down this hall into the bowels of the Temple of Elemental Evil, you hear voices up ahead that echo further to the north.
Can we make out any words from them?
Give me a perception check.
So, do I see any writing on the walls?
No writing, just images. Those images.
Roger.
Yeah, with a 13, you can make it out. It's very echoey, and the words kind of like are blending together a bit, but you are picking it out. It's a conversation between two people. I would say male voices. And you hear the one voice says, "Ah, Prince Thrommel, you've been slumbering a long time. There are facts, there are details you aren't fully updated with." And you can hear in this moment the return voice says, "Where am I? What have you done with my sword? Froggerock! Froggerock! Where is it? What have you
Right,
done?"
Rock.
Somewhere in a grave far away, Humboldt stirs.
You hear that name. You hear that name get brought up, echoing from the north. "It was stolen, my lord. Stolen by an adventurous soul by the name of Humboldt Brage. Didn't think of the possibility that you'd ever know. Stolen and taken directly to Aya's." And for those of you that are new to Greyhawk, Ayaz is a name that all of you would know. He's a demigod that he's like the Sauron of Greyhawk. Like, he lives in a boogity boogity place up in the north where there's no trees. It's just desolate rock, and he wages war against the the nations of Furiandi and Valuna, the good holy justice warriors. So that name carries a little bit of weight.
At this moment, I got pulled out here. At this moment, my character's gesturing to the party that maybe we should go.
Go forward. Sounds great.
Yeah, we haven't really
No,
met our
no,
goals.
like leave.
Do we
leave.
recognize the name Prince Thrommel?
Absolutely, especially you, Yang. Your father would have personally known him. He was a hero during the Battle of Emerald Meadows, which would have been 60 years back now, but it was like the first battle that took place against the original cult of elemental evil, the cultists that followed the demoness that once layered here.
Evil?
The history of Prince Thrommel is that he won that war and he went back home and was heralded as a champion. He was a beloved figure, a uniter of nations. He was supposed to be wed to a priestess from the nation of Valuna. It was going to unify the nations of Furiandi and Valuna, but he never made it to his wedding day. He was... nobody knows really what happened to him, but he never made it, and he disappeared, and that was some like 40 years ago now. There was mention 10 years back that his sword Froggerock had been found, but that is the only trace that ever came of him.
Should we go talk to him since he's apparently not evil and like a national hero or something?
Well, it's sort of our assignment, right?
You just see Yang just slowly starting to walk forward.
I'll follow you.
Side follows.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
I'm bringing up the rear.
You walk a bit forward. We'll say you get down to this level, and you continue to hear the conversation happening to the north. But it is escalating as you draw further. You hear the following conversation, the beats of the conversation. Yes. Stolen to and delivered to Ayaz. It was destroyed. And the prince, supposedly the prince, responds, feeding me lies. Tell me what you've done to me. You bear his marks. You were his follower. Yes, my lord, it is true. I once served Ayaz, but that is in the past. And now I serve a new master, a powerful, vengeful lord, who is moved by your plight and has sent me here to provide you an opportunity for revenge. The loss of your weapon is a tragedy, but we can provide you with a new one. Continuing forward.
Yes.
Rarith is making sure that the pommel of the dagger is covered.
Okay, that makes sense. You're starting to get a sense that there is a member of that cult, maybe here. And as you come into this, chamber here, you can see that there is a knight, or someone wearing armor, and he bears a amulet that has the sigil of the royal family of Furiandi. I don't have a secondary token in here, but he is he's kind of like stalking almost this bald-headed, robed figure who has some pretty, like, a gnarly, like, tattoo of a demon skull on the back of his bald head. And you can see he's got kind of backpedaling away. He doesn't want to get too close. He's trying to keep his distance between himself and the person that he's addressing as Prince Thrommel. And Thrommel is just like stalking him, and he says, "I will not listen to another word of this. You have stolen years from me, 30 years of my life. Taken the years I should have spent with Jolene. My father, I don't even know if he's still alive. And your answer is for me to give my life, my accursed existence to your god? No, I think I'll let you share in this curse. Join me in undeath." As he bears vampiric fangs, he lunges at the wizard and bears the fangs into his neck.
I did not see that coming.
Boy.
And Ulgrast is like, "Oh shit."
Agreed. Really a moral quandary here.
Side's too dumb to understand what's going on.
The fuck about the creepy cultist, but I'd rather leave before we end up dead.
Right, so like he was a hero, but now he's like also a vampire, and I don't know if those are mutually exclusive.
I'm firing an arrow at the wizard.
Okay. You do so, and you can just see like Prince Thrommel looks back at you. His face is just a mask of crimson. "Who's there?"
We don't have any ill will against you. It's just we were sent to investigate the ruins. That's it.
Are you really Prince Thrommel?
You're Prince Thrommel.
Did we interrupt your meal?
Feel strangely nourished. I guess Prince Thrommel. Yes, that is me. At least it was.
I'd say you're still you, even if you're a vampire. You just need blood every once in a while.
I hope that's true. I'm gonna go with that's true.
You were at the Battle of Emerdy
Yeah.
Meadows.
Might recommend you getting it from animals like deer and stuff, unless you want people to hate your guts. It's pretty tasty.
I am, and I was at the Battle of Emerdy Meadows. You look familiar.
Do you know a man by the name of Takio Misaki?
Of course, I fought alongside him. He was a brave warrior. Tell me what happened to him.
I wish I knew. He never came home.
He was with me. He was with me. Jolene, do you know? Is she still alive?
Is that something we would know?
Yes. She is a big name political figure in Voluna. She's essentially Voluna is a theocracy, and so it's headed up by a archbishop. But they also have a second wing of government that's administrated by the noble houses. So she is a priestess, but she represents the interests of the noble houses. She's still alive.
Okay, as far as I'm aware, she still lives, but I don't know how she feels about vampires. I'm sorry. That's not something I can tell you and be sure of.
I know how I will be looked upon by people.
You could still do good. I mean, you're in command of your faculties. That's good. That's a good start. I'm Clace.
Yeah.
Rhymes with place.
Honestly, I think you're still you. You should be fine. Just, I would avoid sunlight because vampire.
What happened to you?
I don't understand myself. 2 days ago, day ago, I don't have a good grasp on time, but I awoke. I was lying within a casket. My sword was gone. All of the people that I was with gone. The last memories that I have are being attacked on the road by brigands. They had a spellcaster amongst them. I think I was hit by something and then darkness, and now I come to wake up here in this wretched place. Am I to understand that this is the Temple of Elemental Evil? It still
What's
stands?
left of it? Mostly no.
Left of it, though.
A group of adventurers came through 10 years ago.
Yeah, and did,
And, Dealt with Socketmoy.
yeah.
So then, they've done what we were unable to do. And she is gone. That is some comfort.
No, it appears perhaps the followers aren't entirely gone.
This one, and he looks down at the body of the wizard. He says that he follows a lord, a dark master. He called him the Chained God. He gave him the name Tharizdun.
You don't want to be messing with him, trust me. Up in the church, I know about this guy. You do not want to be messing with that guy. Mm-mm. Nope, nope, nope.
No, that's not the first time we've heard that before. He's come up again recently, it seems.
Yeah.
This one was
times,
offering me
actually.
some kind of weapon. He was asking me to take on some kind of role within their order and become a prophet. I
Don't recommend
don't really
it.
care much for what he has to say to me. I recognize that symbol on the back of his head. He is a former follower of Aya's.
And perhaps still one. Ios is still a threat.
You said former.
Well, I don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth, but he was trying to tell me that he serves one greater than Aya's, this chained god.
Well, that tracks with a lot of the evil folk. There's always a bigger fish, right?
Yeah.
Thide kind of like raises his hand to ask a question to Prince Stommel.
He kind of just nods at you.
Can this chain god be cut?
I have
But
no
you would
earthly
have.
idea. I get the
You
sense that
could,
it is
but-
not of this world. It is trying to become unchained, free itself. Sounds like
That'd
what
be kind
he
of a
was
misnomer.
offering was to be a part of their mission to free him and unleash him into our world.
Thide's eyes just glow with glory in front of him, and he's like, "I'm gonna cut the god of chains, or that god." And he just smirks to himself and just starts smiling.
I will say you probably could, but you would need to be a lot stronger and have some sort of really powerful weapon relic.
Or really lucky.
Really, really lucky. Yeah, so that's something you definitely want to think about doing. Definitely not now.
You said you were. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Prince Thrommel, what do you plan to do now?
I don't know. I don't know where I can go. If I believe He's just like looking at his skin, and you can see it is like deathly white pale.
Well, may I introduce to you King Ulgrast? He is the current caretaker and master of the ruins of the Temple of Elemental Evil, and perhaps the two of you could reach an accord as far as some lodging for a time.
Yeah. Actually, really nice to spend time with, even if he's kind of aggressive sometimes.
Ulgrast is just like, Glace, what are you doing? I don't want to hang out with him.
Well, he can have his own space, like like distant roommates.
We're gonna have to make like a dotted line on the floor.
But I mean,
Look,
at least while he regains his faculties, I mean, you could be. He seems well in control of who he is. I mean, maybe he could help protect the place, or and maybe he can pay rent. I don't. He was wealthy.
Hey, you got
before.
any money, guy? You say he lost his sword. He don't got anything. And Fritz Thramo was just like, I will keep to my quarters. Won't bother you any.
we're not asking
think-
you to like him, we're just asking you to let him stay for a bit.
I have a lot of thinking. There is nowhere else for me to go presently. If I am what I believe I am, not be traveling about freely. I would have one ask of you. Please do not mention me and this affliction. I would rather not be known for this.
If you're willing, there is something I would like to try.
Ulgrast, is this guy real or is he a phony baloney?
Can I try to disbelieve him?
Sure, he's still there.
He's not an illusion.
Ulgrast says, I don't think he's a phony baloney. I think the guy on the floor was a phony baloney, though. I heard him talk just like you. He was saying phony baloney talk.
Yeah.
Were you the mist?
And Thramo nods. I've
I
discovered...
heard that vampires could do that.
There is something I'd like to try if you're willing, but I won't do it unless I have your permission.
I don't know if I can give permission to something I'm unaware of.
I was going to see if I could ask my goddess or one of the followers of said goddess if they can fix you without mentioning your name. Hey, you have a way to turn a vampire back to a person.
If you are to discover such secrets, I would not turn them away.
With me asking my goddess if she can fix you?
Try. I have not heard of such a thing.
Do that. We'll make an attempt. Not giving any promises. She has some pretty strong views about undead, but also very merciful, so I think in this instance I can get her to at least hear me out.
Lights is gonna walk forward trepidatiously and walk up near him. And I'm gonna take a knee
Oh,
and say, Prince Thrommel, I grew up in the hills near here, and you're a great hero amongst our people and amongst people far and wide, and I take it as a great honor to have the opportunity to meet you. I hope to, in a way, follow in your footsteps, and I'm honored by your presence in whatever form it takes at this moment. And I'll do what I can to help you. I don't know of any cures or anything of that sort, but I'll do what I can.
He there's a kind of pained expression on his face as you do this, and he steps forward and puts his hand on your shoulder as to say rise, and he says, "Your people, you come from the Cron Hills. They fought bravely during the Battle of Emery Meadows. In fact, without some of the spies that the Free Assembly sent our way, we may not have learned many of the advantages that we gained during those times." I am honored to be among you as well. My heart is filled with darkness, but your presence here, it gives me hope that I won't become a monster in the way that the stories of vampires that we tell our children become. For now,
Do you recommend?
I will keep myself here. I will secrete myself away here in the temple in hopes that maybe there is some way to reverse it.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get a beat on that. I recommend at night you make sure you feed properly. There are plenty of large animals you can get enough blood from.
He says, I'll take that into consideration as I adjust to this life of mine.
Heard of vampires going feral if they spend too long between feeding, so I'm just saying you're going to want to be careful about that.
I'll keep your secret, and I'll check on you from time to time, if that's all right.
He says,
Pop by.
I would appreciate that, and indeed, I don't ask you to keep this secret out of some sense of my own ego or legacy, but I fear that Ayaz did this to me intentionally in hopes causing it could be destabilizing to Furiundi, and it's exactly what he would want.
Well, the Thide goes forward as well, and he says, "Well, if you need any help, we can do some things for you if you come up with it." And I kind of give him my animal trap.
Okay.
And I say, you can use this to capture animals and feed on it later.
He collects it and he says, "Thank you. I will use this." And
Oh, that's a good idea.
And in exchange, I would love for you to help me train in the art of the sword.
that is something I do know. And yeah, he invites you to come back here whenever you'd like. And he was known to be an expert swordsman, so he would definitely spend some time sparring with you and whatnot.
Hey, I actually have a purpose for this character now. Figure out a way to cure the prince. Nice.
So at this point, you feel, and this was definitely like something probably important that you keep him here for now. So
Yeah.
you've successfully talked him into staying here. Is there anything else you want to do before heading up yourselves?
Well, I think we should square up our story for Byrne. I think we should tell him that this cultist here was sort of behind a lot of this, and that threat's been eliminated for now.
I just thought of something. Make sure he's not gonna wake up later, because vampires are steep fuckers to deal with, even like that.
I mean, we could, I suppose, burn the body.
Good idea. You want to burn this guy to ashes? Because, this cultist guy, If he to a vampire, we have a real problem on our hands. Especially if he's a spellcaster, which he is. So I say we fry him.
Prince Rommel has no problem with that. He means nothing to him, so he would allow you to take him.
Step back because she doesn't know if it'll affect him too.
Right. We'll eliminate the body. Are you all okay with? I mean, I realize that some people aren't as comfortable with, and I'm not very good at it, but a bit of deception, about not mentioning the prince.
I
What if
find that
Burn
talking
can
works
fix him?
best.
Yeah, can you guys step back? I'm not sure if the sacred flame will affect the prince because it is radiant. If you guys could all step back so it's safer, I'd appreciate it.
No problem. Like your characters would be able to like create a bonfire or whatever and like deal with that. That's not an issue.
She uses sacred flame for a little bit of extra insurance though because radiant.
Ming will start stepping forward and say that my ancestors supported you many years ago, and even though that our name is now more besmirched at this point, hopefully this is more of a sign of good luck.
That's my best friend.
I can to help you. You were kind of one of my heroes growing up, and you still are. Just not sure what Serenra is gonna think. She has very strong views on dead, but I think she'll be merciful in this case at least. She has a strong capacity for mercy.
So just to kind of ground the conversation, I think the conversation at hand right now is what is the story you're going to tell Byrne, and whether you're all in agreement. Why don't we hear from Rareth? We haven't heard from Rareth in a bit.
Yeah. Rarith's probably going to tell Burn whether the party does or not. Burn may be able to do something to fix him. So.
I'm not
The
sure.
party didn't hear that.
Okay. No, Rareth is kind of silent during the conversation about the tale.
I think it would probably just be better to say we didn't really find anything besides our big friend over here getting caught in a cave-in and we dug him out and healed him. Not sure about telling him.
We did find a cultist, and he's been dealt with.
Yeah, that too, though. We're definitely going to have to tell him that, but I really don't think it's a good idea to mention the prince right now.
I have a habit of adopting the strategy of not saying a word. It works wonders.
And just
yeah, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to ask you for Thide's thoughts on the matter.
King Uhtred, you are a friend of Byrne, correct?
I do not know this name.
Byrne?
Ulgrast.
I'm King Uhtred.
Oh, you're talking
not
about
the prince.
Ulgrast, sorry.
Yeah, the king. The king.
Oh,
not
yeah,
the prince.
yeah. Byrne. He's got big pockets, deep pockets. I like him.
Huge pockets, right? But not as huge as yours, right?
No, but don't tell him that.
But
Can
we keep this a secret between us?
Yeah, I like secrets. What's the secret?
Secret is that you killed the cultist and you took over this place, and now it's under your protection.
That shouldn't be a secret.
Yeah, we're gonna tell everyone that you got it. But if anyone asks you specifically what happened, just say you're the man and the king.
I say that already.
And point at him, kind of get him all buttered up.
Hey, we know we get each other.
Hey,
maybe I have a job for you.
Ooh,
I don't.
Okay, but one day,
someday.
Yeah, we have a lot of days ahead of.
Okay, so I need to thank you for everything you do for me. And so, Ulgrast is pretty generous. I'm very giving.
I've heard that.
Okay, you follow me back up and dig around to find you some scraps from Ulgrist's hoard.
Oh, you're too kind.
Thank you. Looks at the prince before we leave though, and is like, "Why don't you take a rest while you collect yourself for a couple more hours? I think it's still daytime at the moment."
He just nods and tells you that he's gonna stay down here.
And before we leave, I'll quietly turn and just take a knee again and stand up and then walk.
Awesome. So you leave Prince Thrommel here. You head back up to the ruins, and once you're up there, Ulgrast just starts like kind of flipping out. He's just like wandering over to like different piles of rubble and like kind of like lifting up rocks. And, oh, not there. Nope. Then that's the good stuff. Too good for you. Maybe if you save my life a second time, you can have that. But let's go over here. And he's like lifting up some other rocks, and eventually he's like, oh, here we go. This is like the mid-tier stuff that's good for you. And he pulls up like this old looking like lockbox. And he pulls out a bit of rope, and he brings it over to you. Here.
Oh, thank you. This looks like the best rope I've ever had. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
it's like a magic. You say a little word, and it like lasso your enemies.
What's the word?
Oh, I forget the word, but you'll figure it out.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
So as it gives you
I'm usually good at finding stuff like that.
he gives you a rope of entanglement. And he's got some gemstones that he's going to give you as well. He gives each of you a gemstone worth 100 gold.
Hey.
That's going in my inventory.
So mark that down, and then you also get 100 gold when you return to Hommlet.
So much money.
Money.
Did Byrne not want us to bring Ulgrast back to him?
No, it was just to figure out information from him if anything has been going on.
Okay.
Yeah, more just to touch base with him to see if there's any cult activity happening here.
Hey, I'm officially not fucking broke anymore. D&D.
So as we're winding down here the session, it sounds like as you guys all go back and collect your reward from Byrne, one way or another, Rareth, you're gonna tell Byrne about Thrommel and what happened. And I'm imagining that's probably a private conversation that you have at some point, but just to like kind of sum up what his reaction is as we close out the session, is Byrne has the same his verdict is the same as Thrommel's, that this is a secret that cannot be public knowledge because King Belvor is on his deathbed and they're already in there's already a succession issue that is happening in Furiundi. And so adding the fact that Thrommel is not only alive but a vampire is going to cause a lot of political fracturing in Furiundi, and so it's imperative that this does not become public. He is further disturbed by the fact that you share with him that they were trying to recruit Thrommel to be a key member of the renewed cult of elemental evil, and he worries that there are other offers happening that the cult might be out there trying to recruit high-profile agents, whoever they might be.
Probably has to be saved for another session. I'm not sure.
Absolutely. Yes, this will not be resolved tonight.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, we have to.
Because-
Come
We
on,
have
guys.
to. 24-hour game.
We have to cut this problem in half.
Actually, it was literally just going to be a temple visit to see if she can get in contact with Serenray to see if she can help, but that's something I can handle during another session.
Yeah. Your church will not know of any kind of process that could reverse vampirism.
Or she was going to see if she could, like, get Serenray's attention directly.
Probably
Well, I
not.
don't remember what level that comes in for a cleric, but it's not at level 1 or 2.
Yeah. Is it whenever you get is it divine intervention or something like
Yeah.
that? Yeah. So maybe someday, but probably not today. So with that, I'm going to say, unless there's any other immediate things that anybody else needs to do or say to tie a bow on this session.
I think I have one thing, but
Sure.
yeah. After I get the rope of entanglement, I go over to Yang, and I see that he put the rope around his fist, and I say, I think this would be a lot better for you, and I literally hand him the rope.
Oh.
Sounds
that's
good.
Nice of you. As he starts tying it up, he just says the appropriate command word and just punches him with it. Huh. It works.
Wow,
You tied up with it? Nice.
that's sick. Oh wow, what's your magic word?
Lasso.
Oh, I thought it was
So
daddy.
simple.
Oh, sorry, daddy. Sorry, daddy. Sorry.
That's not his word, that's his issue.
Oh.
Safe word.
And then the curtains close on the community campaign session. Well, thanks everybody. There's 20 sides. Yes, that's right. And we only need to see one of them tonight. So thanks everybody for hanging out and watching the stream. Thanks for all the cheers. Thanks for all the
Thanks for
rerolls.
all the rerolls. You saved our asses.
That's right. We appreciate that so much. But this isn't the only community campaign game happening tonight. And I think a couple of the folks here in this game are now going to get abused by Dave tomorrow morning in the Welkwood session. So tomorrow morning, if you want to see a Welkwood adventure, going and dealing with some of the issues happening there with the elves, and there's I was in the last one and we got beat up by a Barghest. So maybe they'll do some exploring of that kind of area again. So that's tomorrow at 10 a.m. And we got a double header tomorrow, because then tomorrow night you can stop by and Casey will be running the Storm King's Thunder at 7. This has been our community campaign. This is our game that the viewers, the people in our community can jump in and join. If you want to be a part of one of these games, just jump into our Discord server and say hello and let us know that you're interested in joining a game. We'll get you the information and help you sign up for that.
Level up for this shenanigan.
And that's probably all the announcements I have for the moment. So I think I'm going to see real quick. Do we have friends streaming that we could toss a raid over to? Yes, it looks like Goodman Games is streaming, so we'll go and raid the Goodman Games channel. Thanks everyone.
Chat. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
It looks like Goodman Games is streaming. Have a good night, all.
Au revoir.